Three guys and a Bears. Intro song is better when you have to wait for it. And here's Coach Grandor.
I'll be honest, the title of this podcast, I'm realizing now, is like just super misleading. Like,
How
what do you mean?
I'm not a guy.
Fair point. Well, I'm also an alpaca. In fairness,
That's true.
It's just inaccurate. We're gonna need to extend the title, I think.
I mean,
What do
yeah,
you think it should be next?
One man.
We can
and
change
three
the title
animals.
every episode.
Well, now it's two guys and a bear and a dog, but like,
Yeah, it's
if the third guy comes back, then it's only gonna get even more confusing. I can't count that high.
Good point.
because it went three guys a bear, or it was three guys, then three guys a bear, then three guys a bear a dog. But now I guess it's two guys, a bear, a dog. But like I just swapped, like we just go to three guys. Like it's
So the show is two guys, a bear, and a dog, and then another guy sometimes when he feels like it.
yes,
Yeah.
What about three animals and a guy?
Hey, that's already more interesting.
That's
That's true.
Then you'd be like, what's going on there? You know?
yeah. It's also a
You
lot
certainly
to
wouldn't
type
know it's
in.
about football.
Yeah, no, you'd be caught off guard by that.
Animals
for sure.
can't play football.
Probably become immediately
There's no
disinterested,
rule.
but at least the premise is nice.
So we had football this week,
Yeah.
and we had some interesting things occur.
Yeah, certainly did.
That's
So-
the
Grandor
premise.
being like,
I can't
oh,
wait
I
to-
forgot to grab the news.
Can't wait to find out how
That
you follow
is
that up.
Not me opening tabs.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes.
He comes prepared. Every show he demands perfection and preparation out of all of
Sure,
us.
I'm gonna
And
need
obviously,
I
we
think
can
hurry
expect
up.
it from
I
him.
have
Professionalism
PoE 2 to play. Okay,
Is how is that, by the way? Is that
Yeah.
good?
very fun.
I do want to play it.
So we did actually have a kind of football news, which is Bill Belichick has agreed to become the UNC football coach.
Whoa.
In
That's right.
college.
Yeah,
Okay.
college.
Okay, so I was just talking about this with my wife. Like, it seems like the rest of the league doesn't like Bill.
Yeah.
Or, like, maybe
Who'da
there's just
guessed it?
enough bad blood where like no one wants him around
A
anymore. Like,
happy-go-lucky guy like him.
I know, right? Just such a joy to be around. Like, I don't know. I'm just so shocked that it actually played out that way, where like he ended up on the Manning cast for a good few months there, and now he's going to coach UNC. That's such a bizarre path for him to go.
He's old.
I
He
know,
is
but he's
old.
Bill fucking Belichick, man.
Yeah.
but
Like, what are we talking about?
we say this, or I say this every time. We'd have to address the reality that it was probably a lot more Brady than Bill.
Probably, but I mean, there's still a pedigree there that is like literally no one else can match.
It worked before. I don't think it works anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
Belichick handed the school a 400-page organizational Bible with structure, painted plans.
okay, now it's
staff
starting to make more
choices.
sense.
Yeah. So this is the thing that I was going to say is that, like, I think what's likely is that Bill could probably coach, like, for instance, the Panthers, right? Or whoever lost their
You could
coach
say
this
anybody,
year.
I would
Right?
agree.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if Bill Belichick came to them and was like, "Hey, I'd coach for you," they'd be like, let's write up the details. But the thing is, Bill probably wants what he had in New England, which is total organizational control.
He does.
So-
Total anarchy.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice, but no, but he probably wants total organization. I was going to say anarchy.
You got it in your head, yeah.
Total organizational control. And he probably is picky too. So he probably doesn't want to go coach the Panthers. He probably wants to coach, he wants a Jim Harbaugh situation where it's like you have the Chargers that are already like kind of good. You know, there's a way through rather than starting from zero.
Should have that expectation. It would be him, right? Like, I'm not even necessarily trying to go to bat for him. I'm just surprised. I just think it's crazy.
I think
I still
teams
think
just
he's
don't
gonna
want
come
him to have
back.
full control. Like that's, I
Yeah.
think that's really what it is. Like he'd probably go to the Bears. Bears would love it, but they're like, we're not gonna let you do managerial things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and like there are other organizations too. Like if he like, if you look at an organization like the Steelers or the Ravens that have had their kind of GM management infrastructure around like institutionally for decades,
Yeah.
they're not going to want to do that kind of thing.
Right.
know?
Yeah. No, it makes sense when you put it that way. But I definitely thought that at least one team would bite and be willing to undergo, like what was, like you're saying, more than likely a gigantic organizational shift. But there's probably a lot more pride and egos involved with that than I am considering, and that makes a lot more sense when I put it in that perspective.
I also
And he's
don't
gonna-
really trust him after his like last couple years in New England.
True.
Yeah.
Very
That's the
true.
Brady thing.
I would say, well, so like I still think that he was a very integral part.
No, I
to the
do.
whole
I
thing.
Yeah.
But like Rob, I think
But-
this goes to your point where you're like, and Bill's a defense coach. He's not an
Yeah.
offensive coach.
He's
And-
actually technically special teams.
Yeah.
yeah.
but he's a very
Yeah.
conservative, defensive-minded coach, and that's
Mhm.
not what people want anymore.
True.
We're looking at Ben Johnsons
Look at
and,
those Dan
and
Campbell's,
Shanahan's
brother.
and Dan
Yep.
Campbell's. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
No,
the
I
new
mean, that's
age.
definitely
That's
true.
what's gonna. That's what football's about to be. I don't think people are ready
It's a
for
much
that.
better version of football. I'll say that much.
It's already been it's been completely shifting that direction for a while. I mean, even a guy like look at Cliff Kingsbury, who's still hanging around in the league. He's actually doing pretty well as the OC for the the Dolphins.
I was
right?
gonna wonder that aloud. Yeah, where is he?
Commanders, I think.
Commanders, right? Yeah, with Jaden Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to get another opportunity too.
Yeah.
And
He was a
and
pretty bad head coach.
He was, but and also he was a bad head coach in college too. He had a he had a losing record in college. But he was one of these offensive guru type guys, and
Let
he's
let
still
the gurus be gurus in their respective coordinator positions.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is how this is he's still very young, honestly. Like he's probably, I think he's only like a little bit older than us. So
We have some head coaching news here, which is the Bears are said to be in on 4 coaches, which is Ben Johnson.
okay,
No surprise.
right.
Brian Flores, Joe Brady, and Mike Vrabel.
Oh wow, there's some
So-
good and bad in that group.
Yep.
Yeah, I would
Dude.
say Brian Johnson's probably number 1. Mike
Ben
Vrabel, or Ben Johnson, yeah. Mike Vrabel's probably 2. Joe Brady, I guess is like okay, like offensive mind. He's like he's not Ben Johnson, but like he's still offensive minded. Then there's Brian Flores, who literally called Tua like an idiot that sucks.
Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator, and he needs to stay there.
Can I
Yes.
tell you guys something? I'm pretty sure the Jets are either going for Brian Flores or Mike Vrabel, and I'm real sad about both of those options.
Yeah, those are the two safe like transition. Like I really don't
Yeah.
think that either of those guys
Defensive minded.
are gonna.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be the antidote to a ailing franchise.
You know what makes me very upset actually about that? More than not more than the fact that we're gonna end up with one of them is that the people on the Jets subreddit are like, yeah, let's get Vrabel. Like, what are you? Why? I just. It's Stockholm syndrome, like that's what's happening. I think.
This is like a constant thing now too. Like it's not like a 1 or 2 instances of this that you're reporting from the Jets subreddit. This is just apparently their norm.
Yeah,
I mean, this is also the Bears' norm. Like, they're going to get Mike Vrabel and be like, he's a tough-minded Chicago personality or something.
we're gonna do
And-
ground and pound, and play good defense.
Mhm.
I do think the Bears are gonna get Ben Johnson. The more I think about it, because it gets the best fit.
It really just
because-
depends on if he wants to coach or
Right.
not.
Well, he is. I think he just said he wanted to do one more year with Detroit, right? Like he's gonna want to try.
Yeah, but I mean, would he? Well, would he want to go into the division? And
I don't think coaches care about that as much as we do as fans.
I-
If someone comes over and has, okay, we have a good situation in terms of players, and we're going to give you money, they're not going to care.
yeah,
if the
that I mean
divisional
that
opponent.
definitely is a higher priority. But I think if like Ben Johnson is the kind of guy right now who can take anything, like whoever.
Yeah, but I guess you're saying the Bears aren't going to offer enough or something. But I think it's the best fit
or
for
it's
him.
a not good enough situation for him.
Well, I mean, you have
know?
very good offensive weapons. You have a young quarterback who's potentially good. Like, we don't know yet, but like there's
Yeah.
hope there at least. We've seen Caleb do good things. I think if Chicago's like, hey, we'll get you some O linemen, Ben, get over here, and we can run your offense here. I think that, and Chicago has at least a decent defense too. So I don't know. I think it's a great place for him to go.
I do
Yeah,
think
it
it's
could be.
probably his best bet, aside from like maybe if the Bengals coaching spot opens up. Like that's the only other one
That
I
would
could really
be,
see.
yeah. I mean that I think he would go for.
So I mean,
like
you have
100%.
Joe Burrow putting up MVP
Right.
numbers,
Jamar
on
Chase.
a 5-win team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing is I wonder, because a lot of coaches want a young QB to install their system and train up, right? But
Mhm.
then on the other hand, you have Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson who succeeded with not a guy like that, right?
True.
With Jared Goff, so maybe he prefers that. So in that case, what about like something like Atlanta or
I mean, you have to see
even
how
Arizona, maybe.
I mean, Kirk Cousins. People are considering him a bit cooked at the moment.
Yeah.
That's true, but I don't fully buy that he's. I think it's just the team
I don't
is
either,
really
but I
bad.
think that situation is scarier than the Bears in my eyes.
It's
Yeah.
a
In terms
weaker
of
division.
in terms of players, not in terms of coaching and
Yeah.
but in terms of players.
Mm.
Yeah. Then, in terms of injuries, we had Isaac Guerrero, the 49ers backup running back, sprained
Mhm.
his foot.
Yep,
Incredible.
they're
Yep.
cursed.
Well, McCaffrey's at least playing right now, right? Or did he get hurt again?
He's
He
out
got
for the
hurt again.
season.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
He
Yep.
came back for like 2 games and then
Oh, man.
he's out for the season.
PCL.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, DeMarvion Overshone tore his ACL, MCL, and PCL on the Cowboys last night.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it did not look good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
bad. Panthers Jonathan Brooks, running back, retore his ACL. That's
Oh.
not good.
Oof.
And Derek Carr broke his hand,
Yep, coming down.
which he literally did an insane dive through the air to get a first down in like a game that doesn't matter.
And landed on his hand.
Yeah. It
And it was his
It's-
throwing hand too, right? Wasn't it his right hand?
I think it's his left hand,
Oh, okay.
but it doesn't
It's like-
matter.
Yeah.
It's it's just I don't know what he was doing. Like I get
Yeah.
it. He's like trying to win. He's going all out. Like sometimes you just got to be like, listen, man, you just gotta live to play another down.
Yeah.
Like literally live.
Yeah.
So those are the main injury things I see over here. But then we had football games.
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 Yes. Starting
Well,
with
we got to start with that one.
Yep, Packers Lions. I mean, this was a good game, honestly.
It was a good game.
It's the Packers could not stop the Lions on fourth down, aside from that one time.
4
And-
for 5
Yeah.
on fourth down.
And 2 of those were for touchdowns, I believe, and one of them was actually it was I don't think the one at the end was a fourth down. But either way, this game was back and it was kind of like Lions go up, then the Packers like all of a sudden just score like 14 points in like 1 minute. They go up.
Mm.
We thought it would be a shootout, and then it didn't look like it, and then it became a shootout. So
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns. I don't know why they didn't start with him running the ball. They eventually did, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we can do that," which it was good. The big story is just the Packer defense could not stop the Lions, which
No. I mean, the Lions were 7 for 15 on third down, which sounds like okay until they're 4 for 5 on fourth down, and then you realize like they basically converted almost everything that they tried to convert. Like,
yeah. And
it's
I'm honestly
yeah.
surprised the Packers even got as close as they did, because they were 1 of 5 on third down.
I mean, let's remember the Lions gifted them 14 points.
Yeah.
Jared
It's-
Goff threw a horrendous interception, and then also they went for it on fourth down on their own 30-yard line and
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah,
That was
that
the
was
one
bad.
missed fourth down. So then both of those turned into touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
The
if
Packers
you take those away,
also-
the game's not close.
The Packers also had the Christian Watson fumble where he's like jumping through the air on their one big play and he fumbled, and then they had a chance to go for it. They didn't. It was just they still need to clean things up. Like the thing with the Packers, it's weird. Is like I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. Like it's Lions, then Eagles, and then kind of just a run for probably Vikings, and then I'd say Packers. But once they get going, they can beat anybody. Like if they just catch fire, like they can put up points, they can get turnovers, but it's a matter of like they have to get into that rhythm, kind of like what they did down the stretch last year. But if they're not doing that, then they're not gonna beat the best teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are just still like we're better than you, and even when we fuck up, we're better than you.
Yeah. Which is why they go
And-
for it on fourth down so much, because people are like, oh, they keep going. Why do they do that? And it's like, well, they have players that are probably better than your players, and they go, we're just gonna show you that we're better, and then they are. Like that's.
I mean,
hard
I
to
feel
beat.
like at this point, if it hasn't already been the case, the Lions are pretty clearly the best team in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we've
I
landed
don't-
on that for a solid month now, honestly.
Mm.
Yeah,
You could make an argument for the Bills, and that's it. But
Yeah.
their defense is pretty bad. So
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. No, I mean, and that's and to put that into some perspective, like the Lions have been horrible forever. So
Right. I mean,
And
3
it-
years ago they were 0-10.
yeah,
Like it wasn't even that long
They-
ago.
they were the first 0-16 team, right?
Yeah. Back in the Calvin Johnson era or whatever it was.
It was in the late aughts, if I remember right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely deserved. And fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say, but
Just fuck
I-
Detroit, I think is the sentiment you were getting at. there.
Right. Yeah. that's it.
no.
Fold in the D.
I'm definitely like I really love the aggression. I know people are like, what is Dan Campbell doing?
Yeah.
He's going. You can make an argument that the going for it on fourth down on your own 30 is not the greatest thing in the world.
Hype
Uh,
as hell when you get it, though.
Dude, I honestly think, like coupled with the rest of his energy and the way that they play
No.
in general, even if you fuck those up sometimes, you gain like a morale benefit overall for your
Yeah.
team.
It's-
you know,
Clear that the coach has confidence in you.
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, beside like that one, you can make an argument for, but like at the end of the day, like no one should be upset at these decisions. Like we've been begging teams to
Yeah.
act like this for years, and now we finally have a team that's doing it, and people are like, "Whoa, you got to be careful, man! You're
Well,
so aggressive."
I mean,
No, I'm
they probably
completely with
should
you.
be a bit more careful because
I don't think so. I
Well,
think
So much more fun when they're not.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, it
they're
is
not
fun.
like he hasn't made a decision where I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? That's so stupid." Like it was
I
fourth and
mean,
one or whatever, or fourth and two.
I think
or, like,
this
it was-
play at the end of the game was kind of that, or
I
the one where they were at their own like 25 and didn't get it. Like that's pretty bad. Like the thing with it is, it almost what was that guy with the Chargers, Staley? Like he was the
Oh,
one who
yeah.
he started doing this, and
but
once
he
it's-
didn't get them.
Well, that's the thing.
Right.
Once you stop getting them, then you're insane. But when it works, they're like, oh, this guy's so smart. And like, if they get to the playoffs and they do some dumbass fourth down thing and they don't get it and they lose, like he's going to be like so much
Yeah.
criticism. Like, because I mean, think about it. This game, as close as it was, like Jared Goff was third or fourth down. They decide to go for it. And they're just like, I think
Right.
it was fourth down. And he falls. If this was the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Lions, Jared Goff would have like fallen, tore his ACL, and the Chiefs pick
Right.
it up and run it back for a touchdown. But like he manages to get the hand up. But like they were that close from that play just blowing up, and then
Well,
the Packers picking
oh,
it up
right,
and going
yeah.
down the field.
Oh god,
problem
yeah, that play was
with
great.
that is that like that can happen on any play. So you're basically saying like you shouldn't go
Yeah.
for it if it's risky because a mistake could happen or an anomaly could happen, and it's like, well, that could always happen. Like,
Well, I mean yes, but at the same time, you have the field goal right there. and like you're still gonna go through.
Right. The decision was, though, do we want to end the game here? It wasn't like, it wasn't a waste. There was a reason. He did not want to give the ball back at all. Like, and I don't know, like in this day and age when like teams, fly down the field to get a field goal, especially now that we're starting on like the 30-yard line because of the kickoff rules. And I think it was a good decision. I still am I'm trying to convince myself it was a good decision because at the time I was like, oh no, you don't do this. Like just kick the field goal. This is not good. But I don't know, like you're removing variables. You're adding some more variables in the play itself, but you're basically going like, we're not going to give you the ball back. Like I think in the playoffs against a team like the Chiefs or the Bills or whatever, or the Ravens or any team that's really good offensively, don't let them have a chance. Just be like, no, we're not going to give you the ball back. We will be the last team with the ball and we will win. I think that's the best strategy. We talk about how boring the Chiefs' wins are. Well, the teams keep giving them the ball back. Just don't do it.
Well, I mean, the Raiders kind of didn't give them the ball back. They just goofed it.
Right. But in other scenarios, like...
Yeah.
I think this is opening up that time control argument that teams didn't want to face, which is like maybe it's better to secure the win for sure than leave it up to chance. Because if they don't make it, like that sucks. But hey, what if they've missed the field goal? Like, what if this? What if that? I don't think we can make the arguments on the what if this would have happened. He trusts his offense to get a yard, and he should. It's the best offense in the league.
I mean, I agree with that. I think it's just, if I was in this situation, which I'm not, so it doesn't matter, I'd probably kick the field goal, because even if Green Bay goes down and gets a field goal, you go to overtime, like I still think Detroit has like everything going in their favor. Like I'd still think Detroit's going to win the game. Like if I was the Packers in this situation, I feel like maybe I would go for it on that, because then I'm like, I don't want Detroit to get the ball. They're just going to march down, get a field goal. So I would like it. I feel like because Detroit's so good, I would have kicked the field goal.
The issue is that Detroit's defense, which came into the game heavily injured, got more injured in the game.
That's true.
And the Packers just were unstoppable on offense in the last like quarter and a half of the game. So I think Campbell was also like, I don't trust. He can't say I don't trust my defense, but he in his head was probably like, I do not trust my defense. Like it's too injured. My players cannot stop this team from going down the field. And if it goes to overtime and you lose the coin flip, Green Bay probably wins the game.
Yeah,
with the way that game was going.
That's true.
So,
I mean, it's the same reason people go for 2 in like shootouts at the end.
Yeah.
I think that any coach of a good team should have 100% confidence in their players to gain a yard in a critical moment.
Yeah,
I think that's
agree with that.
pretty much all it comes down to, and I think that Dan Campbell like embodies that mindset.
Yeah.
I see both of what Krendor is arguing, because that's been largely the case, right, throughout NFL history, even just play calling being very conservative, because what if you have the big disaster and then it's in headlines and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I actually think the introduction of the air raid style kind of passing offense has been a benefit to the NFL, and I think that more aggression is warranted, because I think it had become too stale and conservative in their play calling, that like, you remember even just a couple of years ago, some like simple trick plays were being very problematic for NFL defenses to deal with, and even now it's still pretty difficult. So like both those things are both effective, and like regularly going for it in fourth down, things like that. It's something that now this is going to sound kind of stupid, but hear me out. When people play,
you're daring to preface something with that on our show. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's all stupid.
That's all we do.
But it's all stupid. But so the thing is with the NFL is the sample size of games, even like if we stretch back into history to like pre-Super Bowl era, pre-merger, all that stuff, right? The sample size isn't that large, right? Compared to something like baseball or even soccer or whatever,
Right.
you'd probably get every single NFL game in like raw numbers wise in what 3 or 4 baseball seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
So I think that has the effect of making the strategy evolve a little bit more slowly. And if you look at something like Madden, the way that players play in that game, it's hyper aggression, right? They're always going
Yeah.
there's no such thing as punting, right? It's just fourth downs, you always go for it no matter the game situation and stuff. I'm not necessarily advocating for that, but I do think that there has been a staleness as a result of the slow evolution of the strategy of the game over the course of many years.
Well, to piggyback on that a little bit too, I think it's actually something that the league would want to consider on an economic level because,
Mhm.
well, like I'm going to do that thing where I compare it to another league again, but the way that the NBA is going right now, there's a huge drop in viewership, and that's entirely due to the way that the game is being played currently. It's like a 3-point
Mhm.
shootout, essentially. It's
it
like
is.
it's
Right.
like pass 3-point shot in like 90%
They're
of
averaging like
possessions.
150 points a game.
Yeah.
And it's it's having an effect on the bottom line, and like the NFL should be encouraging this is basically what I'm saying is like they should absolutely be on board with a much more aggressive play style, and like maybe the old heads aren't going to be as enthusiastic about it, but it is not only do I think it creates a better product, I think it's better for the league as a whole.
Mhm. Yeah. I was going to make
Punts
an
aren't fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to make another point too of chess, right? I don't know a lot about chess history, but I know like in the early days it was like a completely different, well, the early days of like recorded, modern chess history, basically all the time before Morphy. And essentially it was very conservative strategies, right? Like conservative old school stuff. But every successive generation became more and more aggressive to the point where like the modern grandmasters, it's like every move, you're edging towards a checkmate threat,
Dude, it's kind of funny to consider that like that's just I think the natural progression of any sport.
Mhm.
Because cricket had that too, right? I think that's the right sport I'm
Oh.
thinking of, where like they went from like the 3-day matches, and then they
Mhm.
started doing like the much more sped up version of it that became the much more popular version of it, and has now kind of just taken over as like the main version of it. And
Mhm.
now they're even like playing a faster version of that. It's also kind of what's happening in the NBA, where like the 3-point shot is essentially just like a hyper aggressive version of basketball.
Right.
It just kind of gravitates that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there's no like variety. It's just you drive in, you kick it out, you shoot a 3.
Yeah.
So
And to the point of the sample size, like that's the thing with the NFL, right? Is that compared to chess or Madden matches online or other sports, they haven't played that many games. There's not that much to look at,
yeah.
as far as how to develop and change the strategies based on the rules and the framework of the rules, because they don't change that much year over year. They usually tweak one rule or another,
Right.
like all of the stuff that they're doing strategically right now, like the ineligible players and the shifting and whatever, that was always technically in the game. It's just teams weren't doing it,
Right. That in the
That's the
distance
angry
is so much
fans.
better, dude. Holy shit.
That's Chiblee. That's Chiblee.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Those are the angry fans, the bad. So, yeah, I mean, this was a playoff game. There's a lot of moments that could have gone either way, but that's pretty much it. And the Lions are they're gonna win. Well, they might not win the division still because the Vikings are still like right there.
Yeah.
It
funnily
is
enough.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Honestly.
yeah, the Packers are 9-4 now, and in the 6th seed. So it's something.
Yeah, that's fun.
So
9-4 would put you in the 5th seed, the highest wild card seed in the AFC.
yeah, you'd also be winning half the divisions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no. Oh, in the whole league.
Yeah, in the whole league.
Or no, yeah.
Yeah, AFC South, NFC South, NFC West.
NFC West.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all about getting hot at the end, going on that playoff run. Then we had speaking of playoff runs, the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Browns.
You're honestly, this is the kind of game I've wanted for so long.
I was really hoping you were going to find a way to be able to say that.
I wanted a game. I mean, look, the first quarter was scary. I didn't like. The first quarter was bad, and then after that, the Steelers just went, no, we're a good team, and you are a bad team. We are going to win, and it's not going to be close. And they did it. They fucking did it. And they did it without George Pickens. That kind of surprised me. George Pickens was ruled out like very close to the start of this game. And I was like, oh god,
Yeah,
that's
surprised
bad.
me too. I'll tell you.
Yeah. We'll get to that, Rob.
Yeah.
But this was just an all-around defense, offense, special teams. Everyone did their job, and we won the game, and it was not close. And I love that. This is how you're supposed to beat a bad team. This is what it's supposed to look like. You're not supposed to lose to them in a fucking snow game, you bozos.
Steelers did only manage 267 yards of offense, which, like it does fine against the Browns. It's probably not really going to cut it against better teams.
Yeah. I mean, the Browns do have a good defense, and I feel like that's because, like, in the first quarter, I don't know if we got any yards. I don't remember. The first quarter was bad. I thought we were going to lose after the first quarter because it was just like, this looks pathetic. But I mean, it makes sense. We're going to have less. We're missing our top offensive player. We're going to have less yards. But like, it was a matter of like people stepping up. Mike Williams caught a really good pass. Scotty Miller, is that? Yeah, Scotty Miller caught a really good pass. Jalen Warren, like his yards per carry is 5.2 on 9 carry. I mean, whenever he came in, he got the yards he needed, and that was great.
He's been doing that all year. He's averaging 4.1 on the year.
He is really good, and it's just every year I'm saying the same thing. Like, someone in our fantasy league dropped him, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, he's good, and I picked him up immediately. He gets he's a great backup running back for sure in fantasy as well. But no, I mean, there were not that many mistakes this game. I mean, we had a Cordero Patterson fumble at the end, which pissed me off because it's like, come on, Najee and Jalen are having a good game. Just let our ball carriers carry, and let's not fuck it up. But then I think Jameis threw an interception like 2 plays later, so it didn't hurt us.
With the classic Jameis stat line of 212 with 2 TDs and 2 interceptions.
Yep. The Jameis giveth and the Jameis taketh away.
Yeah. I do hope that there is a play we have in our like offensive lineup that I think a lot of teams have, and I just hate it. It's a bad play, but it's my wide receivers are going to run a go route down the sideline, and I'm just going to airball it to them in 1v1. And that works great when you throw it to George Pickens or Justin Jefferson or, a wide receiver that's really, really good at catching the ball. When you throw it to your wide receiver 2s and 3s, it almost never works. And it's just really annoying. And we did that like 2 times this game, and it didn't work. I think it did eventually work, but just like, it feels bad. And especially on like 3rd and 2. It always happens on like 3rd and short. It's like, let's just throw this up 1-on-1 and hope he catches it. I'd rather do the Patrick Mahomes, like my tight end's going to sneak out and run like 3 yards down the field and convert. That play is just so much better. But Steelers win. They are like everything but mathematically in the playoffs. They just need they need to win one more game or literally any other team in the race to lose. And I think they're in.
I'm pretty sure they're going to make it.
They're gonna. Yeah. It would be a catastrophic statistical anomaly for them not to make it. Like, they need one. Officially, I think it's 1 Colts loss or 1 Steelers win.
It's the Steelers are at a 99% chance. Packers are 97% chance. Really, like most of the teams are they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we said this last week, didn't we, too? It's it's pretty decided already.
It's pretty set. But I don't know, Colts and even the Bengals still are and the Dolphins as well are just hanging around a little bit in the AFC. Denver and LA need to be careful.
Colts are 27%, Dolphins 13%, Bengals 3%. So, I mean, Broncos are 74%, and they're the lowest in the AFC.
I'm surprised that's because I don't know.
Probably has to do with how
maybe strength of schedule and shit. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
What does Denver? Hold on, let me look at the
and who they won. Yeah, they probably won against different things that.
Yeah,
I
don't agree with
while
these
you're looking
percentages. Can I say this really quick?
Yeah.
Because Colts Broncos is this week, and then it's Broncos Chargers, and then Broncos Bengals, and then Broncos Chiefs. Like, Broncos are not 74%. I'd put them at a solid 50 with this kind of schedule.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I mean, I
What were you
don't know.
gonna say,
The
Rob?
Colts aren't that great.
Yeah, but if the Colts, I think the Colts could very much beat the Broncos because the Broncos
They'd
aren't.
probably bump them up to like 50%.
It would
Then the
be,
Broncos
it would
down
be
to 50.
something. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Whoever was next.
Were you gonna say something, Rob?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
All right, I'll jump in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it was just kind of tangentially related to what Apollo was talking about. I was just very curious who you guys would consider like your top 3 wide receivers in the league right now.
Ooh,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson.
he's got to be up there.
Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
I want to say Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, who else would it be?
It's those two for sure, though, right? The guy
I
had
mean,
well,
AJ Brown.
CD Lamb is currently third.
Lamb's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this
Look at
big group past like Jefferson and Chase, and it's
I
like
think those two are pretty
Amon
clear.
Ra,
Yeah.
AJ Brown. I mean, you could make an argument for like DK Metcalf too. I mean, he's just had a slow year. I think.
He's top 10. I don't think he's top 3.
Let's see.
Oh, I just mean like yeah, that third place is not like 1 and 2 are pretty solid.
Yeah.
Right, but
Well,
third's
okay.
debatable.
So, like, just looking in terms of yards, right? Chase
Yeah.
and Jefferson are both the only people over 1,000 so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But CD Lamb is going to probably get over 1,000 next game, and maybe a couple other guys up to number 6, which actually, surprisingly to me anyway, is JSN on the Seahawks.
Yeah, dude, he's been
Yeah.
breaking out. He's honestly had a better year than Metcalf.
I
Yeah.
mean, what are Puka Nakua's numbers too? Because like I feel
Oh,
like
very
if he
true.
wasn't
Let's
injured,
see.
he'd be in this conversation.
He's been lighting into the fuck up lately.
Puka is at 700 yards and
Yeah, and he
3
missed like 3 or
touchdowns.
4 games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, he's eight games started.
Also,
We're definitely forgetting some people too.
Terry McLaurin.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
Terry
yeah,
McLaurin
dude.
he's
McLaurin,
right behind
crazy.
JSN at
He's,
896 yards, but he's got 9 touchdowns.
yeah, 9
which
TDs.
is let's
That-
see on
a
he's
lot
that's
of
the
teams
second
have-
most TDs on the he's tied with Amon-Ra St. Brown on the
a
year
lot
right
of
now
teams
at
have
9.
really good wide receiver ones, and yeah, I mean, if you want that like separation, you can really only look at Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson as being fully separate from
Yeah.
that pack. No
Yeah.
argument.
It's like
Well,
Saquon
that-
and Derrick Henry.
Let's try framing it a little differently then. So, like, besides those two, game on the line, who do you trust the most to come down with the game-winning touchdown grab?
Chase.
So, like, who's got the best
Well,
hands?
besides Chase and
outside?
Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chase, I would argue, is probably the.
I would say
I
George
would-
Kittle.
I would say Mike Evans or AJ Brown.
I was gonna say Evans as well.
I was gonna say
Evans
Evans,
is up there
or
too.
St. Brown.
Yeah,
See,
I'd
Evans,
be happy with St. Brown too.
Let's see, success percentage. Yeah, his I'm
I
looking at
I think Philly's run game has made us forget how good AJ Brown is.
Yes.
It's like they're not having to use him as much, and he's just really good.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. Yeah, I linked you the Pro Football Reference, which
Ooh,
is
yeah,
a
there we
nice thing because you can click on a person's name and it highlights them, and then you can resort it into different things to see where.
Well, I was gonna check this too because I'm pretty sure Chase is still leading the league in every like major category, right? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
leading in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, which is insane.
Mhm.
He has
He-
15 touchdowns this
No,
year.
that's what I-
fucking nuts.
What I was gonna say is he especially is in a higher level even than Justin Jefferson, because Jefferson for the past the last
Jefferson
game
doesn't
he-
have Joe Burrow throwing to him, so that's a bit of a separation. I
Well,
think in
that's
that regard.
true, but I mean Darnold is actually he's one of the better QBs this
Darnold
year.
is doing good, but Darnold is not close, I think, to Joe Burrow in terms like Joe Burrow is
No.
like.
Well,
top
let's see.
3.
Let's
Ooh, I don't know
look
about
at
top 3. He's better than
Darnold.
Darnold though.
I think
He's
Joe
he's
Burrow
better
is top
than
3.
Oh, I don't know.
Burrow's
see.
Burrow is better than Mahomes right now.
Burrow's
Okay,
better than
so-
everybody.
Here's Burrow.
You're
is
talking about
definitely
Allen
killing it
and
right now.
Lamar, and those are the only two I think you can make an argument for. And then
So-
Burrow
Yeah,
would be
those
third.
were my top 2. Yeah, I was trying to
Looking-
think about it.
Looking at raw stats here, Joe Burrow has thrown about 100 more passes in the same amount of games. So they ask him to throw it a lot more, but
Yeah.
he's got 3,700 yards to Darnold's 3,300 yards.
I think it is worth noting that the Bengals have been playing from behind a lot this year too. So it's
True.
Yeah,
True.
when I look at Jamar Chase as opposed to Jefferson, like Jefferson is doing inhuman things. Like he does.
Well, he is,
insane
but he
shit.
hasn't caught a touchdown pass until this
Yeah,
week.
no, I know. He's
you
on my
know,
fantasy
for-
team. I fucking
Yeah.
know.
He's
I
well
fucking know he
aware.
hasn't done that. But I mean, I would say he's having an off year, and he's still second in the league, and on
And
an
they're like
off
triple
year.
covering
That's
him.
true.
Yeah,
that's very
like
true.
I Jefferson, he in my eyes is the best receiver in the league. Like I still think that's true, regardless of the stats.
All right. Well, that was a fun pivot. Thanks for indulging.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thanks
It's
for
fun
the
time.
thanks for the topic.
You know what? Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being
Thank
great
you.
co-hosts.
Anyway, that was the second game.
Yeah. Then we had
Kabloosh.
Saints Giants. Cool.
Yeah, let's give it.
Derek Carr
Uh,
got hurt. That's really all that matters from this.
Giants missed their was it missed or
Got
blocked?
blocked.
I don't know. It was
Blocked. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which I doubt they care. It's draft position.
Better draft.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing, man? Like, what are they,
That they gotta light it on fire. It's,
dude? You know who actually? If you want to talk about a team for Belichick, that I feel like
Oh, that would
Bring
that's
him
weirdly, That's a fun little like full circle for him.
I
to
don't
Yeah.
know
be
if the
coach of
Giants, are savable right now. Like they
No,
traded
but
away their best players. Besides, they don't have any. They have Malik Neighbors,
But
and
that's
it.
that's
Yeah.
exactly the kind of thing that maybe Belichick was wanting.
Yeah, but
right.
he's
Like
going
maybe
to
he
college
wants.
isn't good at drafting. Like that would be
No,
so
but
bad
maybe
for the
he thinks he
Giants.
is.
Exactly. I
That's
think
why he's
that would
going
be
to
horrible.
college. In college, he could just he could recruit people. He's like, I'm Bill
Right.
Belichick. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll go play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say that like no one's good at drafting, but like I'm gonna use this as an excuse to talk about how fucking good Omar Khan has been in the last 2 years. This is his first 2 drafts, and he knocked it out of the goddamn park on a majority of his picks. I think there's an art to it. You don't
Oh, yeah.
want to bring someone in who's bad at drafting right now. It's just a nightmare.
I'm actually curious who the like best and worst teams are at drafting.
Well,
the
it's hard
last,
to.
10 years or something.
You'd have to define, how you look at that, right? Like maybe number of Pro Bowls.
I
Number
can
of-
hear Rob's face in his hands, just even trying to comprehend this.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, because you could do something like that.
I mean, can I kind of you guys you've enlightened me. Can I like just remember who we drafted? Not this most recent year, but the year before.
Yeah, do it.
Like we had Broderick Jones, who's like honestly, like our worst pick might have been our round 1 pick. Like our round 2, Joey Porter Jr., our starting cornerback, Keanu Benton, our defensive lineman, who just had a pick, I think, in this game, an insane pick. Darnell Washington, our tight end, who's been super good. Nick Herbig, our linebacker, who came in and also like has just been insane. Corey Trice Jr., which was a defensive back who I think is like in our rotation and even starting. Like that was 7th rounder.
Well,
Our 4th rounder is like one of our best like defensive players, Nick Herbig.
I've actually got some data here. So this is from a random Reddit person 8 months ago who is
Okay.
a
Sick.
computational social scientist who cares about processing
Okay.
information, and they have,
that's exactly the area for this kind of thing. You need to layer in a lot of stats.
and they have just broken it all down. And so, according to all their numbers that I'm just going to trust,
What do they go by? Losing like Pro Bowls and
They have, like,
and metrics
approximate-
and
they've data. They got approximate value of players. They're using Pro Football Reference,
Okay.
finding pretty much. They found this is going to surprise nobody. The Packers and Steelers are 1 and 2 at drafting.
makes
Who
sense.
could
Yeah.
have guessed? Then
Imagine like finding that thread as a former player and seeing that somebody had like found a mathematical way to quantify your value to an organization. Like you have a number. That's your number.
I checked it again. Our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks this year are starters.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, dude,
Peyton Wilson, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, like you can draft good. It can happen.
well,
See,
look,
there it
I
is.
think this is a good
Oh, yeah.
demonstration of the power of institutional knowledge and why the stripping away of institutional knowledge by like the modern tech bro scene is a bad thing.
Yeah, get him, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that, but like both of those organizations that you're talking about, they have the. I've talked about it a couple weeks ago. They're stable, They have a stable organizational structure. They have, they train people in how they do things, and that's compare that to the Jets, where everyone's fired every 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Well, we can also
Actually-
compare it and laugh at Cleveland again for being at the
Right.
polar opposite end of this chart.
The Jets are actually 11th on this at drafting. I think the problem
pretty
is
funny.
they get players and then they either get rid of them, ruin them,
Yes.
or have terrible coaching that just loses everything and management.
There's only
Arnold!
a handful of players on our team that have a second contract with us.
yeah.
Most of our players are either on their first contract or a free agent from another team. It's just not what we do. We send people away.
Or you take in old quarterbacks
Right.
that give away draft capital to one of the best drafting teams,
Yep.
which has given us 2 of our starters, maybe even 3.
Mhm.
Thank you. So
Yep.
yeah, pretty much this shows that Steelers, Packers good at drafting, Cleveland, Raiders really bad.
Yeah.
So that was the Saints Giants game.
That was the Saints Giants.
Yeah.
Then we had the Dolphins Jets. Speaking of,
Hey, honestly, good job losing this one, Jets. They really shouldn't have won this one.
yes,
Yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
You're
Rodgers
looking
threw
at
for
a
over
better
300.
draft pick.
I guess. Like, what does it mean? In this
Hey, at
in
this
this
point,
hell.
we're at the point of the season where you do not want to win games. So
Yeah.
this is now a
true.
win for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it were Madden, it would be way better, because then you could guarantee that they're going to trade back for like a bajillion picks. But like, I don't know. What are we going to do? I mean, maybe we end up getting even a better draft pick, and we get another we draft another young man out of college and ruin his life too for several years.
Maybe the Jets should try a different sport.
Yeah,
They
that would
probably
be good.
should.
Maybe they should be relegated. Honestly,
Do we have quarterbacks this next draft, or is it a non-quarterback draft?
I've
again?
heard that it's not
They're-
good.
There's Deion Sanders' son.
Right,
Shadur
right,
Oh
Sanders.
right.
yeah.
He's the top one. And I
Mhm.
believe,
The guy he plays with too, Travis Hunter.
yeah, Travis Hunter,
Mm.
who's like insane. He plays
Yeah.
offense and defense. So those are like
Yeah.
the 2 big ones. I believe Shadur Sanders wants to go to the Raiders, and his dad wants him to go to the Raiders.
Interesting.
And I mean, it looks like he probably could go to the Raiders.
likely.
yeah,
Yeah,
that,
I
that,
mean,
that seems
go-
very likely.
Yeah. And then there's Cam Ward out of Miami, another quarterback. There's Quinn Ewers from Texas.
That's not a QB name. That's a cornerback name.
Nah, Quinn Ewers, dude. The Ewers.
No, not him.
Oh, that's
Cam
a
Ward.
quarterback.
Oh,
name.
Cam Ward.
Yeah. Yeah, Cam Ward is absolutely a secondary player, right?
Yeah, that's 100%.
I'm kind of with you on that. Yeah,
And those are
I
really
think
the
it's
top.
the Ward actually. Like the Ward
Mhm.
word makes you think defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it literally it's right. It's basically defending.
Yeah, I guess that is the definition, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
So those are really the only. There's also Jalen Milroe, Alabama.
Oh, that's
So,
a
like,
name.
Yeah, that's really it from what I can see here. Like,
I
all the
mean,
others
I
are
think
late round.
everyone, all of the GMs are probably waiting for Arch Manning, right? Like,
Yeah,
Well, he's
Quinn
on
Ewers is,
Texas right now behind Quinn Ewers.
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
but he's backing up, right? He's not
Yeah,
playing,
So he'll
And
start
so-
next year.
Yeah, and then also he may not come out after only a year of playing. He might stay,
I
right?
think he's
I
a
mean,
junior this year, isn't he?
maybe.
I think
It's
so.
so
he-
weird to me that he's not the son of Peyton or Eli. He's the son of their brother,
Cooper,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Cooper's son, yeah.
So
It is
weird.
pretty funny.
Do Peyton and Eli have kids in football right now?
I think they have
Mm.
girls.
Yeah,
Oh.
Peyton Manning.
They must be so upset. Sorry. They're the kind of guys that,
Oh wait,
Yeah,
Peyton
it's-
Manning had
Oh yeah, he's
Marshall
got a boy.
and he's got 2 boys, I think.
Oh, okay.
They're both.
Oh, but they're
accountants.
young.
They're
Yeah,
13.
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
They probably
They're-
are gonna come take over eventually.
They're approaching the high school years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then Eli Manning has 3 daughters who are 12, 10, and 8, and a son who is 5. So not quite football age.
So he
Yeah.
kept trying, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he kept trying.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
trying
dude,
to-
come on. This. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eli Manning's son Charles will be a quarterback in what's that? 15 years.
Yeah.
Charlie
Perfect.
Manning does sound like the next Manning.
That
That
is pretty
does,
good,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
And
well, I mean,
then-
they've honestly all been pretty good so far. It's a weird situation.
Dude,
Yeah,
Peyton
keep making
Manning's kids are Marshall and Mosley.
Marshall
Mosley
Manning,
Manning is
Mosley
a
Manning.
hell of a name. Oh my god.
Can you imagine we just get half the league as just Manning quarterbacks?
Right. Yeah.
No, just all the players are named Manning.
Right.
That would be funny.
That would be
You guys want to
hilarious.
make a prediction on what 2 teams are going to have the Manning brothers on them?
Giants.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
Giants makes sense.
You said what? It's going to be like 15 years?
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to say
say
Jets.
give me the Chiefs because that's like
Ooh, that's
the worst
fun.
case scenario.
okay, right.
And Chiefs Patriots. Yeah. Let's do it.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Actually,
the worst.
the Peyton's kids would be like 7 years, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right,
So then
right.
probably not. Mahomes is going to be there for.
It'll be like
I don't know.
Titans. Titans.
Mahomes will be there till he's
um,
46 like Brady.
How old is Mahomes?
You know what?
I think like
Titans,
29.
Jets. Titans, Jets.
Yeah, I
could-
said Titans too. I'm gonna
See,
say Titans.
here's the
I think
thing,
you need
though.
to pick teams that are good now because they're going to be bad 7 years.
I think the
from now.
Titans are going to be bad in 7 years.
I
Yeah.
think you also have to. I think you have to not even think about teams that have bad organizations.
Are we going to talk about any of the games?
These games suck.
They did
Yeah.
kind of suck.
What a
yeah.
great week.
I mean, this one is well. I mean, there were some high scoring ones. I mean, even this game,
There
the
were
Jets
like
and
there were like
Dolphins
2
were.
good games this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
this.
three.
It's honestly better to not talk because this fucking.
Well, yeah, who
it's just
really
the
gives a
Jets.
shit about this Jets Dolphins game?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
it
Yeah.
doesn't
like,
actually
no one gave
matter
a shit about
anymore.
this game. Wait until the next game.
I know.
It's
Yeah, I've been waiting to make a
such a-
segue.
The only
Fucking
thing
joke,
from this
though,
game
can I-
was Aaron Rodgers threw for over 300 yards for the first time since 2001.
Yeah, I wait. 2001,
not
really?
2001.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah, I
play
was
in the
gonna
league
say.
then.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
yeah.
It
Or
would have been like
2021.
15.
2021, yeah.
21.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, no. Yes, that is nice, but it went to overtime and Jets do Jets things. That's what
Yep.
that's what they
Yep.
are. Everybody knows it.
We sure do.
Speaking of teams waiting for their next quarterback,
Jaguars Titans. There it is. This
This
game,
game sucked.
this game was terrible, and of course, I failed to pick the Titans correctly again.
Classic.
Yep. So my terrible streak continues of picking Titans games.
I look, as a Tony Pollard fantasy owner, why for like the 3rd game this year do the Titans get down to the 1-yard line and then pass the ball like 3 downs in a row?
Mm.
What
Well-
are you doing?
I don't think they know what they're doing.
But I like passing on the 1-yard line can be a good fake out because you expect the run,
Right.
but doing it 3 times in a row is not a good fake out. You're just dumb.
They should just did a halfback draw at that point. That probably been more surprising.
I mean, I would have 100% rather my team run 3 times and fail at 1st and 1 on the goal line than pass 3 times and fail.
Yeah. And like, I never get why teams don't do the like run. Like everyone assumes you're gonna run pass because a lot of people are just uncreative. But you could just run play action, like swing to the tight end, which like generally works because the tight end, if you have a good one at least, is gonna outmatch whoever he's on. He's gonna outspeed the linebacker or be taller in the corner. Which the Packers do that a lot. They actually did it the Lions game. Love just missed Tucker Kraft completely, which was bad. But yeah, it's like you do that, and then 3rd down, you kind of got a toss up where like you could run or you could pass, and they're kind of throwing it like I don't know. It's teams just feel like they're just dumb.
so I'm sure this has been talked about to death. I'm just genuinely curious about it. Like, is the only reason other teams don't do the tush push is because their quarterbacks can't like squat the weight of a small planet, or is it like is there more to it than that?
It's probably also. I mean, the Eagles still have a really good offensive line, just because they
Yeah.
lost
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey, didn't make
Yeah.
their line.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I think their center has like done really well. The new one.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think you'd see at least like more attempts, right? Although I'm sure people have like practiced it and realized like, oh yeah, this isn't working nearly.
You're
as
also
well
getting
as
your quarterback
was for them.
kind of banged up, especially if he's not as like I feel like
Well, I think the Eagles are just better at getting to that down too. Like because of their
That's
style
true.
of offense, they tend to just get to 4th and 1 a lot.
yeah. Yeah, this game
I mean,
sucked.
look, if you're 1st and 1 on the goal line, though, it's just like
Oh yeah.
opportunities
Well,
like that.
teams are dumb. I think that's just teams are dumb, and they outthink themselves because they're like, oh, they're gonna expect us to quarterback sneak or run the ball, but then they call out of it and they go, ah, dang it, okay, it didn't work, okay, but now they're gonna expect us to run the ball or quarterback sneak. So what if we pass again? Aha! That's how they sound.
That
Yeah,
is definitely so.
they twirl mustaches.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
tie up women, put them on train tracks.
I mean,
it's not really part of the
can
game,
a single
but
one
it's
of you
just part
name
of
the
the
head coach of the Tennessee Titans?
oh yeah, no, I have no idea.
Brian
Gumble?
Brian.
Callahan?
Really?
Something?
I don't
Titans
know.
coach? Brian Callahan, I did it.
Oh,
Wow,
well done.
Oh, okay.
I only know that because I remember them bringing him up once when I turned on one Titans game one week, and he used to be with the Bengals, I think. And they were like, he's here now or something. I was like, oh, cool. Or maybe he was with some other team. They brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, Callahan. So I knew it. I just didn't know his first name. There we go. Look at that. I'm
Wow,
kind of
so, you
a
know,
professional.
This guy leaves Cincinnati, and then they it all collapses.
Yeah.
By the way, it seems like.
Yeah, I think
To
he
be
was
fair,
the
the
Bengals.
Cincinnati is not really collapsing. They're just getting atrociously kind of unlucky,
And their defense is terrible.
and their defense is
Yeah, I have
terrible.
a real
yeah.
bad
Yeah.
defense.
Like the offense is not the problem. They're putting up like
That's
40
a good
every
point,
game.
honestly. Yeah.
Speaking of putting up 40, the Vikings. The Falcons suck. They're bad. They're a garbage team, and they're bad.
And they started off so good. Like, why?
Yeah. I know you guys saw, I linked it, but the shitty ass coverage they played on Justin Jefferson. It's like,
Oh, the
just,
guy who just literally got lost.
Yeah. Just go to top NFL Reddit this week. It's the number one thing. D.
Mhm.
Alford is just like running back and forth and then falls down. Like,
It's one of
Yeah.
the worst defensive plays of all time.
It's
It's like it's that bad.
Yeah, he really had no idea what was going on that play.
Well, it's crazy because he's a professional football player, like in the NFL.
Yeah,
he's
I mean-
real guy, and so like we know he's not that bad. No one in the NFL is that bad.
yeah.
So
it looked like a high schooler.
something happened in his brain, and some wires got crossed, and then those wires got crossed with other wires. It's the only explanation.
I mean, I think it's important to remember that they really don't have a lot of time in between plays. Actually,
No,
like,
I know. I'm
it's
just
like-
saying that what he did is beyond the lowest skill level of any player in the league. So something else had to have occurred.
Well, it looked like to me that he at first he didn't know what his assignment was, and then he was panicking, and two guys ran both directions, and it was like the Looney Tunes thing,
yeah.
But it
where the
looks
guy
so
where the
much
eyes
worse
go in the
than
different
that.
directions, and then
he looks
yeah.
at him and then goes, okay, and then he runs the wrong way and then goes, wait, no, and then turns back around and then just fucking
Yeah.
falls.
Yeah, the fall
Dude,
really
I
caps it
do
off.
think the framing of this clip does like I think it's like what Rob said is like there's another guy that's just out of the shot that makes it a little bit better, but it is
Yeah.
still pretty bad.
And if he's like, oh shit, wait, did they say I was in zone or man? Am I man? Am I on him? Ooh,
Yeah.
And then he's like looking around, and the other guy's in zone, and he's in, and again, like all of this is happening in under 40 seconds.
Dude, I'll say I
know?
have the deepest level of empathy for this dude because I was this dude in a baseball game where like I fucking like went and dove for a ball I was trying to catch. I thought it was a foul ball and I missed the catch, so I just kind of laid there for a second thinking it wasn't live. And the rest of my team had to like come and rescue it because the ball was just sitting right next to me.
If it makes you feel
Oh,
better,
no.
that happens in real baseball games
That's true.
too. Sometimes
I know,
Yeah.
I know. So it's like this
the
kind of
Yankees
thing, like,
did that in like the World Series or whatever. Well, not
happened.
exactly that, but
it happens to everybody. It happens to pros. It makes them a laughing stock, and it sucks for the dude. But
Yeah.
no,
I'd like to think the much simpler thing here is the guy missed his assignment and then read the name on the back of the jersey and went, "Oh fuck," and then fell down.
Yeah.
It's like,
a
yeah, it's
fucking cartoon. That's
to
so
me,
good.
the start of the coverage isn't that bad. He's just like, oh shit, like this is wrong. And then he tries to catch up, but then it's not even like Jefferson makes a move. He just thinks Jefferson makes a move for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh wait, he didn't.
Well,
And
that's
he
what we're
cuts
talking
back
about. I
and
think
falls.
I think that
So
he's
it's like-
responding to another guy that's outside of the frame of the shot. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, whatever it is, the Falcons are ass, and
Yeah.
they're probably not going to make the playoffs at this point. They don't deserve
Probably
to
not.
make the playoffs. They
don't.
look like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Uh,
This fucking
Can we
next
talk
game.
about Darnold for a second, though, with 5 touchdowns?
Yep,
yeah, he was good.
Darnold.
Okay.
Darnold?
I mean, I've heard rumors.
he needed a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've
He-
heard rumors from the inside sources
Oh.
that he's not going to re-sign with the Vikings likely because he's going to want too much money.
Whoa,
That's what I've heard, too. And I mean, I don't know. I think his performance this year warrants the Vikings actually trying to sign him.
I would be very curious how he does on the market because I don't think it's going to be as good as he thinks it is.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
you have to
first-
respect that he's throwing to one of the best receiving cores in football.
Sure. But I mean, like other guys can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's
I mean,
only
yes, and I'm saying that it's inflating. Like he's
We're-
looking like a top 5 quarterback, but we all know he's not. Like
We're
everyone,
kind of having
all
to
of us
give him
here
the
know.
Purdy perspective. You know what I mean?
Who are there other guys besides Justin Jefferson?
Jordan Addison, who's very good this
We
year.
have Hawkinson, right?
Hawkinson,
Aaron Jones.
like Aaron Jones, which is a great receiving running
Let's
back. They have
see.
a fantastic offense.
Hawkinson has 300 yards and no touchdowns on the year.
I think he was
Who was
injured.
the other one?
yeah.
Hawkinson, Addison.
Addison. He has 700 yards and 7 TDs, so he's doing
Yeah.
pretty well.
He's doing very well.
Well, I mean, that's the 30th rank as far as yards.
Yeah,
And-
Hawkinson was also hurt for the first 7 weeks of the season.
Mhm.
That's what I.
and-
Yeah.
And then who's the other guy that you said?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron.
You don't have to
Aaron
Google
Jones is
fucking
good.
Aaron Jones. You know Aaron Jones is Aaron
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah, and also I'm just looking at his receiving.
I'm
anyway,
just
so-
saying that he is benefiting from a fantastic offense, like
and coaching.
and good coach. Yeah, so obviously Sam Darnold is way better than we thought he was. There's
Is
no
Sam
argument
Darnold the Brock Purdy of Minnesota?
there. He is much better than
Well,
we
I
all.
just think
than
that-
I gave him credit for.
Yeah, I think though you guys are maybe underestimating the kind of like stats that he's putting up on the year right now. Like he's hanging with the best of them right now currently.
I think one issue is that he just had a bad streak of games right before this, and that's why I'm still more down on him than that.
Yeah, he had I mean he had a less good streak of games is what I would say. Like he wasn't throwing
That Jags game was awful.
Yeah, I mean again, like if you compare him to like any of the other guys, like here, Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff has 3,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Sam Darnold has 3,300 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. It's the same record.
But would
But-
you rather have Goff or Darnold?
Well, I mean,
I think we have to be fair in that Goff is also benefiting from an insanely
yeah.
talented
Well, that's what I'm
offense.
saying. Like the top guys are gonna be. That's gonna happen for any of the top guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, we're
I
talking
think
about
that's kind of a
Darnold
moot-
commanding Goff money or Mahomes money, right?
well,
Like,
starter money. I mean, I don't know about like
yeah, but like
break the
saying-
record, but starter
Yeah,
money.
but like I'm assuming that if he's demanding more money than the Vikings can afford, why couldn't the Vikings afford like a normal starting quarterback money?
I don't think he's demanding more than they can afford. I think that's probably they're doing a lot of, contract negotiation, smoke and mirrors
Maybe,
kind of
but
stuff
They
going on.
might
But
be, yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, they drafted JJ McCarthy, but I
Yeah, do
doubt
you trade
Right.
McCarthy away?
you probably just
I
have
don't
him
know.
sit as backup still, honestly.
He's not gonna like that. He's looking for a starter job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's also on a rookie contract. What's he going to do?
yeah, he's not
He's
really
literally
open
locked
to
in.
any leverage.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the best thing for them would be get Darnold down on like a 2-year deal, and then
Yeah, if you could get him to do that.
yeah, you just have to get him to do that. But you always have like the Raiders who are like, we'll pay you $800 million.
Right.
So we'll see. But either way, honestly, the Falcons taking Michael Penix looks better and better now, to be honest.
Yeah.
You might just start throwing them in here in the last couple of weeks if we keep getting Kirk Cousins 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the last 2 games.
Do you have the playoff stats still pulled up? Because I'm wondering when they want to actually start considering pulling the trigger on that.
Falcons are currently at a 38% chance to make the playoffs. They will pretty much
Okay.
have to win the division.
Yeah, no, that's the only way for sure. But like,
So they have the tiebreaker. The Falcons currently need to win one more game than the Bucks do, and they'll be in
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
of
they're
the remaining games.
they're not about to throw in the towel yet.
Right.
No, they're still very much in it. Their remaining schedule is not too bad, but not great either. They have this isn't updated. They just played the Vikings, so they have 4 more games. It's Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers. That's not too bad.
Yeah. The Buccaneers
mean,
play Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. So they're also not too bad.
You're playing the Desmond Ridder Raiders this week. If you do not win that game, you are cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I mean, even
But
if they win out, they get to 10-7, which I guess you could maybe get the 7 seed if the Commanders shit themselves at that point. But
Well, they also play the Commanders, so
oh yeah,
okay.
I guess that'll
there's
be
a world.
That'll be a big game then.
They
Potentially.
have ways back in, but they've totally fucked it the last few weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out. Should be fun because that's really the only NFC thing is like the NFC South and the NFC West, and the NFC West is a shit show as well. But I think it's down to kind of like Rams Seahawks at this point. Then we had where am I? Panthers Eagles.
Saquon fucking Barkley, dude.
I picked
Yeah.
the Panthers, and they were one Xavier Leggett
I really thought
dropping
they
a
might
wide
win this,
open
dude.
touchdown
You gotta
throw
catch
from
that.
Bryce Young away
Yeah.
from doing it, man.
That
Really
wasn't
was.
even like contested. He just lobbed it up.
I found myself
Yeah.
actually rooting for Carolina.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you're
well,
a
I mean, why
Panther
not?
fan, you like.
I
you
was
have to
rooting
be
for them
happy.
for 2 reasons. One, my pick 'em, but 2, during the game, Scott Hansen on Red Zone announced that some anonymous person put a $3 million
Right.
bet on the
Oh,
Eagles
yeah.
winning. And I wanted that person to lose their bet. 'Cause
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
you.
big time.
If you have $3 million to bet on a football game, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on
Um,
like a not fun bet of like, I bet this good team.
Yeah,
will
what
beat
the hell
this
is
bad
Beat the
team.
bad team. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Well, I guess it's like as close as you could get to guaranteed money in sports betting.
I mean, he made apparently $440,000 from this, so
Yeah, I mean,
that makes me want to die.
Yeah, that's like what a sixth of what he put in, right? So
Odds
Pretty good
are they
return.
have much more money and don't care.
Look,
I
I don't
mean,
want to
yeah.
talk about rich assholes anymore. Saquon
I was just
fucking
gonna
Barkley,
say,
Yeah.
dude.
You don't want to talk about
Yeah, let's
someone
talk about
snapping their
Saquon, who's
fingers
not
and
rich.
making more money than we've ever made materialize out of nothing.
1,600 yards already on the
Yeah.
season is
Wild.
ridiculous. 124 yards per game.
I feel bad for Barkley that his MVP season is basically over because Josh
He
Allen
has, like, no
gone
chance because of Allen.
Yeah.
absolute beast sicko mode.
yeah.
Yeah. Josh Allen's looking like
He's
it's
I mean, and
ridiculous.
honestly, you can't really. It's not like you can be mad. Like Josh Allen.
Oh,
no,
he's
Josh Allen's
genuinely-
actually like it's not one of those where they're just going to give it to the quarterback for no reason.
Right.
Like,
He
there is a
deserves it.
reason this time.
if the
Yeah.
Bills
He
didn't have
absolutely
Josh
deserves it.
Allen, they would be.
They would not be
Yeah.
the same at all.
Yeah,
I actually think they might even be a bad team without Allen.
I think so.
Fully. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Um,
would not be anywhere near where they are.
Saquon was 20 for 124 in this game. I mean, speaking of not being the same team without a player, like I think the Eagles lose this game without Saquon.
Absolutely.
The Eagles lose this game if Xavier catches that fucking ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a Panthers fan, the last couple of weeks have to make you feel good because your team has started playing football competitively against like pretty good teams.
Yeah, like they're way better and continuously way better than I ever expect them to be. It's like you said, like the last 4 games in a row, they've been right there.
Yeah.
Competitive.
Yeah.
They won against the Giants a month ago.
Yeah, like they should have beaten the Buccaneers. In fact, I saw that one Thielen catch in the end zone that looked like it should have been a touchdown before overtime, and they ruled it not for some reason.
I mean, they should have beat the Chiefs.
They
and
should
Yeah,
have
they
beat
should
beat the Eagles.
They should be on like a 5-game winning streak right
They
now.
really
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Like they're genuine, and now they play Cowboys, Cardinals, Bucks, Falcons. Like I can see them winning 2 or 3 of those.
Well, at this point, they don't want to, but
No,
yeah,
they don't,
they
but-
very
Right.
well could.
Bryce Young's been looking way better.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
He's kind of shutting us up, man. Like he's showing up right now.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the Eagle, I mean, what makes the Eagles dangerous is their running game. So going into the playoffs, they will be, I don't know, they're going to be a tough team to play against because they're just going to want to run and control the clock, which is going to be annoying. But so do the Lions. Actually, so do many of the teams in the playoffs when you think about it, especially when it gets colder with weather and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
they're still trying to get that 1 seed from the Lions, but they're not catching them. So we'll see what happens there. But
I think it's really interesting that we ultimately ended up landing on like the cold weather advantage basically doesn't exist, right? Like there were like a couple of comments that pointed it out too. Like there's been studies done and like it really doesn't make a big difference, which is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, I think it really is just that, both teams have to experience it, right? So I mean, you could definitely get more experience, but yeah, it probably isn't
And I
that
mean,
big of a factor.
just because a player plays for a hot weather team, they might have grown up in a cold weather place. They might have went to college in a
Right.
cold, like that doesn't just mean like they played Dolphins, so they bad in cold weather. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Then we had Buccaneers Raiders.
The Bucks tried so
Boring.
hard to lose this game, but still won by 15 points.
They really did. Cool. Then
It was. Yeah, I mean,
Dole
Baker
sounds-
Mayfield, baby.
they're still leading the division. They probably should be because they're definitely the best team in that division.
Yeah.
Seahawks Cardinals. Cardinals suck. They don't
I'm
throw the
right.
ball to their number 1 4th overall draft pick that's supposed to be generational wide receiver. He's on
I'm
my fantasy
back
team.
to my inability to pick Cardinals games correctly. That's wonderful. I'm gonna back
Hooray.
in the dumpster.
I think the
Geno
Cardinals
Season?
are mediocre.
Geno season?
Geno season.
I mean, honestly, this
No.
game was Zach Charbonnet season.
didn't light it up.
134 and 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish I hadn't cut him. Fuck.
That'd be dumb.
Yeah, I wish I started players.
That would have helped.
Hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
get
Yeah.
Yeah, Seahawks take control of the division, and they're looking like they could win the division. Although this week is they play Packers, then they play Vikings, then they play Bears, then they play Rams. So
Yikes.
they got a bit of a
We'll
bit
be
of a
talking about
tough
an
schedule
8-9 Seattle team in a month.
I
Yeah,
am a
it's a
Rams
murderer's
believer
row.
than more so than a Seahawks believer. I'll say that.
yeah.
I am. Yeah. I agree on that. But
Yep.
still, it's Geno season, so anything could happen.
And I mean, the Rams also, they play the Jets, so that's good for them. But
Yeah,
they
that's
play
free win.
49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks, so 3 divisional games. So that's going to be wild. But that should be a good finish to the NFC West, honestly.
Yeah.
We all pretty much realized if the Rams did not deal with injuries, they would be far and away winning this division.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Then we had 49ers, Bears.
Although
Oh
I
my
guess you
God.
could say the exact same thing about San Francisco, couldn't you?
Probably.
Probably.
The Bears had 4 total yards in the first half, and it was the fewest of any team and a half since 2000.
Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm telling you,
You're sure that one's not 2020, right?
I am positive.
they're Jets West, man. That's what the Bears are.
This is like, what, man?
I can't believe I picked the Bears.
Yeah.
I
The
just
Bears?
I don't
What
know
the
why. I don't know how I picked.
Oh wait, I picked the Bears. Oh yeah, we gave them the 1v4 in this. What were we thinking?
I don't know. I mean, they had.
Here's the thing. It was fired Coach Buff.
Yep.
It was
Right.
fired
Plus,
Coach Buff.
the Niners looked horrible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then they just came out and
Stomped
fucking
on them.
shit
dude.
on them.
Yep.
Like,
Look, I'm always gonna pick better coaching. If it's like
And they
if
were
everything
home.
else is
It's against Magic. That's the kind of year you're having.
I mean, I think the
Well-
49ers were also playing at home. That's 2 straight weeks of being in the snow on the road, being
Yeah.
injured. I think they were just like, finally, we're home. We're just resting up. You know, some guys came back.
This is a rest game for San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they got to play
Yeah.
the shitty Bears, who are also spiraling. So I
Mhm.
think they were just like, hey, we're better than this team. Let's do it. And they,
I mean, yeah, this was just complete dominance by a B-string squad, essentially, which just goes
Yeah.
to show you how shitty the Bears are right now.
Well,
Sure
I think
does.
also if you have like a superior strategic mind, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much almost always going to be a massive advantage against an organization that fired their head coach midseason, is in organizational chaos.
No,
you know,
you're
like-
absolutely right. Like I don't think I consider it enough, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
like the Bears, like the coach has pretty much just moved up the system. Like he's still kind of doing what they were
Mhm.
already doing.
Well,
But-
that's what all every time you fire your head coach midseason, that's pretty much what you have to do because you installed that system in the offseason,
Yeah.
right? And the guy who usually gets moved up as an interim was working for the guy who just got fired.
He was like, "Well,
So-
I thought we had a good plan."
Right. Yeah. So like he can't like it's rare. It does kind of happen. It has happened sometimes, right? Like where the interim guy comes in and he does so well, like Frank Reich, remember
Yeah.
from the Colts years ago. But it's otherwise it's just an instability thing, you know. That's why
Yeah.
I said the Jets were a joke when they did it this year.
Which, speaking of which, the Bears' offensive line instability have given up 7 sacks this game, which puts Caleb Williams at 56 sacks.
That's absurd.
He is on pace to break the David Carr record.
Bro,
That's-
that's what the wait, 56?
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe the
is
record's
divided
72.
by 13 is over 4 a game.
Yep.
Oh man.
And reminder, so that's, what is that, 50? So they need like 15 more sacks given up. So they play the Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, or Packers.
How
So-
big is he? Is he even like a big dude at all? He doesn't
He's
look
like
big
average.
on camera.
Height.
6'1", so
Oh no, he's not.
not
That's
even that big for a QB,
Yeah.
honestly.
yeah. He's getting just
That's
annihilated.
my size,
Yep.
and I don't think I could handle getting sacked 50.
Yeah,
I don't think
Nope.
I could handle getting
Well-
sacked 5 times.
because you got to keep in mind, right? Like the QBs, even if they are bigger guys, like if you have like a Josh Allen, it's a little different, but that's a rare exception. But everyone else, you have 200-pound guys moving at like 4.5 speed, going full force
Yeah.
into you while you're standing still. Like that's fucked.
Let's try the fucking D lineman, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add
And
another 50% of that.
And plus, you get to the point now where players know they're not playing for playoffs. They probably
Right.
care more about
They're
their
just
own
trying
health.
to kill dudes.
Yeah, like they just don't want to get hurt, and so they're gonna stop trying as much. And then you just got, everybody's just kind of running around for themselves at this point.
Yeah.
And now you're going up against 4 playoff teams to end the season, so it's like, have fun.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
Bears' last win was Jacksonville in England.
Yeah, Bears.
Oh my
bad.
god, that was so long ago.
Yep, they
No,
were
that was-
4 and
that was
2
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yep.
The Hail Mary
man.
really did break them.
Yeah.
It really did. Cool.
Oh, dude. Oh man, here we are. Here we are.
Bills Rams offensive showdown.
Oh my god, dude. Oh
What
my
the
god,
fuck?
Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
What the fuck?
I had before this fantasy week began, I had a 24% chance to win, like before the games even started. Josh Allen scored 58 fantasy points. That's a lot. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot. That's among the most I've ever seen.
Like maybe the Jamar Chase 60 against me was probably up there.
Right.
Unbelievable, dude. Like
3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns.
holy cow.
Dude.
How do you lose this game?
Me and Randy.
Bills lose.
Me and Randy,
Yeah.
the only Ram picks. I had a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild though. I mean, he is a monster.
Bills have some defensive questions to answer after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
certainly do.
putting it lightly.
I don't know if
With
we
their
can get
defensive
to
head
the-
coach too. You know, because that's one of the things to think about. Like that, it makes me understand a bit why people in Bills land are like, I'm not so sure about this McDermott guy, because like that's like Josh Allen clearly has the offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, oh my God. Could you imagine? They fire McDermott and bring in Ben Johnson.
oh, don't please, God, I don't need another Tom Brady. Like the Bills are okay right now because they still haven't won anything. You know,
But
like
they're kind of at that point where like they expect to win the Super Bowl. And if they don't, it's like, do they move on?
Yeah.
from what, Josh Allen?
No,
Or-
from Sean McDermott.
Oh yeah, I don't know. They might. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on, I guess, what the owner and whoever. Like, I don't know who's at the top of the hierarchy in their football thing. You know.
Yep.
So who knows?
Well,
Maybe they
whoever inherits this dumpster fire of a defense is
Yeah.
gonna have their work fucking cut out for him. I mean, and the Rams offense, we were just talking about it, is pretty good. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
they're kind of back to proper form. Puka is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He was already good last year. He is on another level this year.
Yeah.
Like a couple of those catches were insane. And he keeps doing that. This is not an uncommon thing for him now. He's he's able to make catches I do not expect him to make.
he's a 6th-round pick or something, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Yeah, he's late round.
Yeah.
I know he was a late round pick, but he was either he might have been undrafted.
I could have sworn I just looked.
By
at
the
this.
way,
he was the round 5.
Yeah, round
Round
five.
5. Yeah.
0 sacks allowed by either team this game.
That's crazy.
That is wild,
insane.
actually.
But
and
yeah, no. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Rams controlled the ball 38 minutes to 21.
Well, Kyron
Yeah.
Williams is also like a huge part of this offense.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
almost 30 carries this game
Yeah,
and didn't
Kyron
get a lot of
Williams.
yards out of it, but it's just like you love having a guy who is not going to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
29 carries for a 3-yard average and 2 TDs. Like, hell yeah. I'll take that,
Yeah.
dude, every time with no fumbles.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's at 1,000 yards on the season with 12 touchdowns.
He's been solid for me in my fantasy team all year until, again, I shit the bed this week. But you
Yeah.
know.
But yeah, I mean, this Rams offense, dude, like I think they're going to win this division, and they may be kind of scary in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that far removed from their Super Bowl ring. You know, what is
Yeah.
it? 3 years? 2 years?
Because like this
3 years.
defense isn't bad, you know. Like I don't think it's as good as it was, but like they obviously
Yeah.
they let up 42 points on the Bills, but they were up by like 20 in this game at some point, right? Like I think they were up by like what was
you
it?
know,
38-21. Yeah.
yeah. The other thing I want to say about the Rams is, at least right now, I mean, and maybe this is only because Stafford is still around and playing as well as he is, but this seems like a more sustainable Rams than what they were doing last time.
Oh yeah, because they went
Right.
like all in last time.
Yeah, they were blowing every pick that they had, and they I mean, they got it. They gunned for the Super Bowl, but like right now they're not doing that, and they found late round guys, late round contributors. They've been building the team, and
Yeah, I don't think we at all expected them to be in this kind of position this fast again.
Mhm.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing them show up in the playoffs. Hopefully.
I'm not, because currently they would play the Packers.
So
yeah, I don't know.
It would be a
wanna
good
play
game
them.
though. That'd be
It
a
would
fun
be
one
a
to
good
watch.
game.
That would be good.
That's true. In fact,
Was
we
it-
actually have a pretty good amount of fun games if the playoffs started today.
Mhm.
We'd have Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Seahawks, or Rams, just depending,
Mhm.
and then Buccaneers, Vikings.
Ooh,
in the NFC.
like
And
that.
then
be pretty
AFC
cool.
would be Bills, Broncos, Steelers, Chargers, and Texans, Ravens.
The Bills
Yeah.
would shit on the Broncos. That would not even be close.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Probably, yeah.
Although,
But
I mean, the Broncos have a pretty decent defense, honestly.
they do have a decent defense.
It's Josh Allen. Have you seen this guy play
That's
over the
very
last 3
true,
games? He's
yeah.
on a different fucking planet right now.
Yeah, it really is.
But yeah, that was that game. Then, speaking of which, the Chargers lost
I
to the
can't
Chiefs.
Keep doing this. I can't do this every week. I can't. Someone stop this. Stop it.
It's getting kind of
No.
insane now.
I don't wanna.
I told you many weeks ago, just accept it. They're gonna three-peat.
No.
They're gonna
How-
win the
how is
Super
it-
Bowl.
It's something different every time. It's not the same.
Well, it's the
thing.
same, but it is different. Like it's
Mhm.
it's the same feeling. It's the same experience with different like dressings on top of it.
like
Okay, some kind of black
it's
magic.
funny. I have to preface this by saying I definitely don't think the NFL is staged. I think it's stupid to
Mhm.
think the NFL is staged.
Yeah.
These games feel staged. I know they're not, but they feel like they are. They feel like
Yeah.
someone's writing this shit. Like it's so annoying. I want to watch normal football games.
Like they doinked it in, dude. Like it
Yeah.
doinked
Well,
in.
it's not even that they should have even like they should have gotten to 4th down earlier, and the Chargers should have had a chance to score. I don't remember, was it Derwin James, some defensive
Oh,
player for
yeah.
the Chargers, had Mahomes and just decided not to tackle him. Mahomes didn't do some crazy woo like Lamar Jackson juke. He just went yeah, and then Derwin James was like and like flew off to the side like a cartoon, like he
It's
couldn't
the
tackle
aura,
the guy.
man. There's too much
Like
aura pressure.
I don't get
Yeah.
it, man.
He was like
Chiefs-
magnetically repelled.
The Chiefs' last 6 wins in a row, like those not consecutive games, but their last 6 wins they've gotten in one possession games that they absolutely did not deserve.
Yep.
6
It's
straight games.
Absurd. This was a Chargers team who like didn't even have their offense. Lad McConkey out, J.K. Dobbins out. Disley went down halfway through the game, like at the end of the half.
Mhm.
They didn't have a team, and they still almost fucking won. The Chiefs are bad. I think they're bad. I actually
They're
think they're a
bad.
bad team.
They're a bad team.
I was
fully
saying
agree.
they were a good team that was just getting lucky. I actually think they might be bad. Like,
Well,
like it's
statistics
genuinely
have shown
ridiculous.
that this is the worst, like 12-1 or close team game
This is
ever.
the worst 12-1 team ever. This is the worst Chiefs team we've seen in the last 6 years. This
For
is
sure.
a bad team in the league right now. This is a bottom half of the league team.
Here's the
But
thing.
it's 12-1.
They're 12-1.
It's
but
so annoying.
their next 4 games: Browns, Texans, Steelers, Broncos. I think they could lose 2 to 3 of those.
I
Well,
hope to good
it-
God above they do.
I like what's crazy is the Steelers have like 3 different scenarios they're trying to accomplish right now. One is make the playoffs. That one is almost guaranteed. They don't even have to really do anything to do that.
Mm.
Then it's win the division, which all they need to do is actually beat. They're so far ahead. If they just win against Baltimore in 2 weeks, then they win. That's it. The division's won. And then the third is they could still get the 1 seed, and because they play the Chiefs, they just need the Chiefs to lose. I think 1 extra game, or is it 2 extra games? I'm pulling up the stats.
With
What
with
is
the
it?
Chiefs, it's safe to assume too.
I think it's
Right.
1 because then the Steelers would get the other because they're 2 games ahead right now. Yeah, so if the Chiefs lost another game and the Steelers beat the Chiefs, and the Steelers maintain their record, then they would give you the 1 seed, which is crazy to think about.
That is wild, but also I think you guys are all being far too optimistic. And you're not considering the great magical power that Andy Reid
I
has.
know you're
unleashed
right. I
upon the
just
world.
don't want it to be right. I get it.
Yeah, they'll get
Can
the
I,
1 seed.
but can we say for a second though that I think the Chargers, like, I think even this year, but especially next year, are gonna be fucking scary, man.
I don't know.
I
feel-
will
feel
never
we keep
believe the
saying that
Chargers are
about them.
scary until they've proven it. This the
Dude,
Chargers.
I like again. I normally agree, but it's
You can't
Jim Harbaugh.
sit here and tell me the Chiefs have magic and not acknowledge the demon magic that keeps the Chargers from ever being successful.
I think yes, that's true. And I actually think the main source of dark magic at the that's holding them back in Chargers land is Dean Spanos, their owner. But
Jim Harbaugh, man.
I'll
Jim
believe it when I
fucking
see it. I'm
Harbaugh.
not saying it can't happen. It's just I ain't
Yeah.
having that expectation anytime soon.
Yeah, fair.
Then the final game, we had the Homer Simpsons take on
Oh,
the
dude.
Bart Simpsons.
I didn't watch any of that
Yeah, I don't think
part.
any of you guys watched this. I think I was the only one.
I watched like the first 10 minutes of the Simpsons broadcast of this game.
Yeah, I saw like 10 minutes.
I watched the full game, and I will tell you, this was like the least interesting good game I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
Like the game was like there was touchdowns and there was points, and the game was close the whole time, and I didn't care. Like it just didn't feel exciting. And then the Cowboys did the funniest fucking thing ever and lost the game, which is great.
Yep.
Like then I was like, this was worth watching. Like
did see
that
that.
moment.
I saw
That-
Mike McCarthy get mad.
That moment 100% made the game worth it. For those of you that did not watch this game, it was tied 20-20. The Bengals were like, I can't remember if it was the same drive they were going down the field, but they had to punt. It was like 4th and a bajillion. They had to punt. They go to punt. The punt is blocked. So you're thinking, oh, here we go. The Bengals, here we go again, Bengals. You're going to
Mhm.
lose a game where you should have won. Cowboys go up. Dude touches the ball. He touches the ball. It goes past the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys guy touches it, and it just goes past him, and the Bengals grab it, and it's Bengals ball. And then they go down and immediately score a touchdown 2 plays later and win the game. That was great. That was great, dude. I loved that. I had a great time.
That does
watching
sound
that
very
sequence of
cathartic
events.
as any of us to see that happen to Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys have only won one game at home this year.
They have, after being like 12-0 at home for over the course of like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
I think it was like 16-0. It was insane.
So we already kind of did it, but I do want to again just mention, holy shit, Jamar Chase. This dude is
Yeah.
balling out this year.
He actually almost like your game was unlosable, and yet somehow
I
your
know.
opponent almost came back because of Jamar Chase.
Oh my god! I mean, he had Chase Brown too, which helped a lot. But holy cow, yeah, Chase is just anytime he's on the other side of that matchup, you don't feel very good.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bengals are probably cooked. Or oh no, wait, no, sorry, yeah, they got
3%.
Yeah, so they've got like a outside chance, but
Yeah.
not looking great.
These teams are not making the playoffs.
No.
Yeah.
right.
And that were your games of the week.
Games of the week. Games of the week.
Power ranking.
Power rankings. Here we go.
Power ranking.
Top 5. I think
Power
they're exactly the same.
Yeah, I had a feeling they would be.
You
Even
can
though
just tell us.
Lions,
It's-
Eagles,
it's-
Chiefs, Bills, Vikings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
But
hasn't changed.
we got two thin dinks, rising 3.
Mm.
Had the big wins this week. I'm gonna say 49ers.
Yep, 20-17.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
The
the
Bucks.
Nope.
Seahawks.
Nope.
Oh, dude, it should be the Panthers. Honestly, even though they lost.
Think meaningless games.
Bengals.
Oh.
Nope.
The Jaguars.
Yep.
Oh.
From 32 to 29.
Hey, go Jacksonville.
Oh, you know the
Yay.
Giants are 32 again.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Fattest doinks, 2 spots each, 2 teams.
The Giants.
Nope.
Oh,
Titans?
they only fell 1 spot.
Yep.
Titans makes
Titans
sense.
fell 2. Yep.
Cowboys.
Nope.
Maybe the Bills?
It is the Bills from 2 to 4.
Ah.
Because they did, yeah, they were heavy favorites this game.
Yeah. 49ers have combined 5 fattest doinks and thinnest dinks, tying them with what other team for the most this season?
Which team
The
has?
Eagles are ranked above the Bills. That's fucking stupid.
So this is which team has
Doinked
doinked
and dinked.
and dinked the most combined, which
Yeah.
is a very fun question.
Wait, the Chiefs are ranked above the Bills?
Come on, buddy.
Yep.
They
Questions
beat
ahead
the
right here.
Bills. The Bills beat them.
Yep.
What
That
are you
is-
talking about?
I agree, but you gotta let
Well,
him.
you can't let that
gotta let him
slide. We
go.
can't just sit here and be like, okay.
Bible of
What
the
the fuck are you
internet.
talking about?
This is far from the first time we've had to do that. We recognize Ed is in his own world.
Mhm.
What the suck, man.
I don't remember what
I
the
don't
question
remember
was
the
anymore.
question.
The
Yeah, I
Atlanta
forgot the question, too.
Falcons have dinked and doinked
Oh.
the most
I
as well.
see. I see.
Okay, so they've had the most
that makes
doink
sense.
and
That
dinks,
makes
yeah.
sense.
What division has gone the longest without a top 10 team?
NFC West.
Yes.
Oh,
They
okay.
last had
Yes.
one in week 3.
That was a pretty easy one.
Yeah. I mean, NFC South could have been another one, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
AFC South, honestly, too.
why the Texans ranked up
Yeah,
there?
but they're not good.
They're not. Which team has dinked 9 times this season, but is still in the same rank they were week 1?
Whoa. Oh, okay. They haven't been the fattest, or no, they haven't been the thinnest dink. Wait, dinks are drops. Wait,
No, dinks are ups. They go uppies.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Okay, I know our terminology.
They are ranked the same now, but they've dinked the most.
Hmm.
The Seahawks?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's got to be a team that has fluctuated a lot, though, right?
Oh, you know what?
Probably.
Maybe it's the team
The-
underneath them, the Rams.
It is the Rams.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one's for Rob.
Oh.
The New York Jets have fallen into the bottom 5 of the NFL.com power rankings. True or false?
True.
It is false. The Jets remain
Ah.
at 27, one spot out of the bottom 5.
Oh,
Well-
okay. What are the bottom 5 though? We got to figure that out real quick.
Pats, Browns, Raiders, Titans, Giants.
You got all of
That
them but
sounds right.
one.
What the fuck?
Oh, Jags.
Jaguars.
Oh, right. Yeah,
instead of
because we just said
Browns.
Jags went from 32 to 29.
Oh, the Browns are slightly above, huh?
Yep. And there's your NFL power rankings.
Power Ranger.
We could probably do the fantasy update.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We're all in the
I-
playoffs
Do we
except
have
Rob.
to?
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, let
Rob,
me.
All right.
I'll do my happy news first if you want, and then you can move on to your sad
Sure.
news.
Sure.
So I had a miracle shot, like I mentioned this week, to actually win and make the playoffs. I pretty much had to win, well, otherwise I was going to be out of the running. Josh Allen with his 58 points somehow, by some miracle, carried me there. I also got a hefty contribution from Miami kicker Jason Sanders with a 15 spot. That was pretty nice. But I'm going up against Apollo week 1 of the playoffs. It's our rubber match on the season. I think I won the first matchup, and then Apollo beat me by 0.5 on the second matchup. So
Yep.
we're going to be neck and neck.
It's the third match for the playoffs. Yep.
Yep. That's fun.
I've never been in the playoffs before. This is new to me.
I'm
I'm
bragging
mad.
here. I've been in 5 straight playoffs, and I'm feeling real good about it. And
I was gonna be in these playoffs.
I want to defend my
You
title,
was.
baby. Sorry, Rob.
Could have been in the playoffs had he not forgot to set his team.
I forgot it was Sunday. I had my head down. I was writing, and then I saw the message that said football, and I was like, "Football? It's not Sunday." And it's
Yeah.
Sunday, and 2 of my players were out. So I gave my opponent a 2-game handicap, and yeah.
Season, brother.
Well, the
cost
big
me the
reason,
season.
big reason you lost was it was down to me and you, and
Yeah.
it came down to point totals, and you were below me by 31 points. So
Ugh.
it would have been close, but I think you would have beaten me out.
Well, I mean, if I had played 2 players, yeah,
Yes.
Would you
Ugh.
would you have won your game though?
Well,
you
it
know what?
wouldn't matter
Honestly, I
'cause
didn't
you
even
still
look.
Well, let's
Yeah,
look.
I mean,
Let's see. You
In
needed,
fairness, I didn't have an active running back, so I would have picked whoever.
you would have
was...
won your fantasy game
Oh,
because you
man.
had on the bench Juwan Jennings,
right.
You would have been.
Yep.
who had 28 points, and you would have only needed to have started Baker Mayfield over Mahomes to get the remaining points.
Yep.
So
And if I had
you would have
started
been 5th
another
seed
player.
over me. You would have been playing Apollo this week.
Yep. Yep.
But
yep. I'm
now
a fucking
I'm in.
dummy. Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Thank
Well,
you,
I'm
Rob.
happy for you guys. At least you know.
I'm mostly just hoping that we are at least one of us able to make the finals instead of all going out in a puff of smoke in the first round.
Honestly, I'm happy to have made it as the person who officially had the most points against in the entire league at 1789.
By a long shot, in fact. Yeah, like
Yeah.
next highest was Apollo at 1672 to
No,
your
I was
1789.
third. I think
yeah,
Torak
Torak at
took second
17.
from
Oh,
me in the
you're right.
final week.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, because
Yeah, because
20 and
you
two.
They
scored
scored
165
170 on 'em.
points on him. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be crazy. Be
Yep.
wacky.
I
I'm just
wanna
happy my
defend
players aren't on buys
throne.
anymore.
I'm
You,
so
you do have
mad.
to play the guy who's like LA Gustop has been scored. He's on a 4-game win streak, so I would
Yeah,
be,
he's been a menace.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
want to
gonna
be in your
be
spot.
it's gonna be crazy. But I believe in my running backs. The power of the running backs.
I am just mad because I'm an idiot.
Dominate the consolation bracket.
You know,
You have a bye
Maybe.
in the consolation bracket. You don't have to set your
Yeah.
team next week.
Hey,
well,
you're the one
I-
seed of the losers.
yeah, that's yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then we add pick'ems.
Well, hey, you got a little bit of redemption
Pick'ems.
here at least, right?
Yeah, you're
That's
probably going to
true.
win the Pick'ems crown. I think.
Yeah,
that's-
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
winning
that's
by a
nice.
mile here.
Yeah. That is a nice thing.
Rob's only losses this week were Titans Bills, went 12-2.
Yeah. I mean, in Bills, you can forgive me
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
I
mean,
mean, even the
Uh,
Titans
on
with a
that.
toss up.
Of course,
Yeah.
both of the semi-obvious 1v4s that we handed him did end up going in his favor. So that's,
Yep.
that's pretty nice
Yeah.
for Rob.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep. So I went 9-5, Bear 9-5, Apollo 8-6, Randy 8-6, Discord 11-3, and the AC 8-6, Broski.
Yep.
Bonus stats.
Bonus stats!
Rob.
That was almost harmonized. That was beautiful.
That was. Number one single. Rob's now 6-4 in 1v3s against the other hosts. He's 4-2 in 1v5s when the Discord and ACs are included. Bear is next at 4-8.
Wow,
That's actually
that's
bad.
that's crazy. Yeah, that's not a
Yeah,
good
what-
record.
Well below 500. The grass is always greener. Bear's been better predicting Bills at home this season. 5-1 home, away 3-4. Conversely, predicted the Rams better in away than home.
Oh,
That's
it's
weird.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the little bear popping out of the chimney. That's cute.
that is all figured out. Apollo's 13-2 predicting the Vikings in December.
Woo.
And
Nice.
then he's on a 6-game winning streak, picking the Vikings, and in an 8-game streak in December games.
Wow. All right. I know who to listen to.
That's the only reason I got the Cardinals game right the other day, because the Vikings were in it.
Yep. Makes sense. Close calls. Doink.
Don't
Krendor.
trigger us with your images, Pixel. You know what this is referring to. You saw the game.
Krendor
You can put it on the
struggled.
right upright, man.
Krendor struggled predicting games decided by 3 or fewer points. Now 25-30 in those games, while all the other hosts are 35-20. Wow, that's actually
mean,
pretty bad.
That's unfortunately not something you can like prepare against
Yeah.
either. You don't know when that's
Yeah.
gonna
Just, it is what it is. Best in the West at 4-4. Randy is the best record predicting the NFC West. Everyone else, included the Discord, is 3-5.
This is almost not a stat. Like this is
Yeah.
so close to not being statistically relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the love in the world to Pixel, but this is borderline meaningless.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Randy.
I mean,
Randy
like-
is the definition of statistically
I guess.
unimportant.
Yeah, but I mean, also, give him a little slack considering.
I know, yeah.
I thought
like,
Randy
like,
was going to be like
there's
8-0
been-
or something. But it's
I
like,
mean,
But
at
there's
the
also-
same time, though, it's like you can't really blame the circumstances that you choose. He backed himself into this corner of like, this is the information you have for this data.
yeah. I mean, there's only so many stats. I'm amazed
Yeah,
that he's still coming up with
that's
ideas.
a very good
honestly.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an extremely good point.
and that's your bonus stats.
Bonus
Bonus
stats. Thank you again to
Whoa.
Pixelaven and Hippo Nora.
Oh god, yeah. Please don't let that be the thing. It's like, oh, you know what? Fine. If you don't like my
You
stats,
did,
I'm gonna
yeah,
stop
yeah,
making
right,
them.
yeah.
Where are
Yeah.
we? Oh, Pick'ems.
Yeah,
Pick 'em.
we're
Where
cutting
are
off one of our best
Bye
resources
weeks-
for the show. Is what we're
Bye
doing.
weeks are
Yeah.
gone. No. bye
Oh yeah,
weeks.
that's right. Yeah, no more
Oh,
bye
yeah.
weeks.
Nice.
Oh.
The hardest streak for pick'ems here.
Speaking of pick'ems, shout out to our assistant coach of the week, Chef Man, who unfortunately did not make the playoff cut in our fantasy league. Womp womp. But they're doing pretty good this year. 76-43 on the season. Best predicted teams are the Lions, Colts, and Eagles at 8-0, 7-1, and 7-1 respectively. If you want to be an assistant coach of the week featured on the show, you go over to the Patreon page, patreon.com/3guysthebear. Just search 3 Guys the Bear on Patreon. And you can go support there at the assistant coach level. You can connect the Discord over to the Discord channel and put you in the role. You can be on the show.
That's pretty good.
All those things are true.
But only if you shout them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
only if you shout.
But also, thank you, patron.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, patrons. Rams 49ers.
Let's go Rams. Yeah. I think I believe in them enough.
I did
you
the
gotta
thing
open
where
up
I
my
breathed
thing.
wrong.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then you know how you cough really like so hard that everything just breaks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
It's like
Yeah,
the
you-
49ers, yeah.
Why are our tubes like that? You know, just get
I
the
don't know,
tubes.
man.
Somebody's
Like
got to
I
fix up the tubes.
just like breathed it a little bit, and then they were like, "No, you can't do that right now. Don't do that."
Sorry
Don't
for
breathe."
laughing, but
I mean, it is funny. I'm just dying.
yeah.
I'm going to go Rams.
It's
Rams.
got to be Rams.
Yep. Commander Saints.
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
I will be
gonna
locking.
lock the Commanders.
Oh,
Did I get it?
I think you said it first. You said the complete sentence first.
You did say the complete sentence. That's fine. You got
Okay,
it.
I'll take it. Remember, I have a horrible streak in stealing
That's-
locks from other people.
That's true.
I will also take
Uh,
Commanders.
Yeah,
Yes.
Chef's on Rams and Commanders here as well.
Chiefs, Browns.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I've already lost pick'ems. I'm gonna keep picking against them until I'm right. I'm picking
Oh,
the
that's
Browns.
fun. I like that.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I forgot to
yeah,
bring
that
up the
works.
graphic. Now it's up.
I mean, I just don't want this game to exist, truth be told.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go Browns.
Wow.
You are a madman. A
Yeah,
madman.
I am.
Madman.
Yeah, because I'm doing it as a joke. You're actually serious.
I
Yeah.
think they can actually win.
Oh yeah, they can, but will they?
Probably not.
Find
They'll
out
lose-
next time.
They'll lose by 2 in the final 3 seconds. We know this.
Mhm.
Bengals, Titans.
Yeah, Chef Chiefs as well. Chef went Bengals.
Bengals.
This is Bengals.
I'm going Bengals. Bengals
This is
sweep. I
lockable,
think.
dude.
Bengals.
I'm thinking about it.
I have
Don't
lost
you dare.
like 12 straight Titans games, and I'm going Bengals.
Okay, there we
That's-
go. Yeah,
this
that's
has
Bengals
to
sweep.
be the game I break this streak.
You would think.
You would
I'm gonna
think.
keep a pin in this as a potential lock, but not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins.
Assistant coach also went Bengals. Sorry, I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, we get
Yes.
it.
Okay,
Dolphins, Texans.
Dolphins.
okay. Mm.
Chef went Texans here. I'm kind of split.
I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
go
one's
Texans.
a little tough, but I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Okay, that's pretty even split. I'll give us a 50-50 there. I'll go Dolphins too,
All right.
because I'm
Yeah.
guessing Discord's gonna go Texans here.
It'll be close. Ravens, Giants.
Ravens. This is
I mean,
also
I'm
lock the
locking.
Ravens. Yeah. Ah.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
no,
you got
you
sniped
poor thing.
twice. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll find one.
Our AC did lock this as well. Yeah, I'm gonna lock the Ravens.
All right,
This
Ravens.
is the Discord.
Actually, you know what? You can have the
I don't
Ravens
want it.
lock.
I
I've
don't
been
want
burned by the. I've been burned by it before. You can have it.
No, you can have it.
Oh,
Take
All
it.
right, I'll
dude, you
take
do not know how happy I would be if the Ravens lost this game.
Yeah.
My
It
level
could
of
be.
happiness can't be allowed. The universe has a like an emergency switch where it's
Dude,
like,
Rob.
is he that happy? We can't just change it.
Rob, not these Giants, dude. Come on.
I mean,
No,
you
Robert,
never know.
you did not watch the Saints Giants game. You do not you don't understand.
I mean,
It's
I'm
not-
taking the Ravens, but I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Come
I
on.
don't know.
You would not be able to contain my laughter on the next week's podcast if the Ravens lost this game.
We'll just let that be the intro.
right? Yeah.
Jets, Jaguars.
Somehow
I was
the
just
Jets
looking
win
at
this
this.
fucking game, don't they, dude?
I gotta pick the Jets. I hate them, but like,
Yeah.
I can't lose. This
You know what?
game.
Now, how are you? The way you guys are talking about it, yeah, it's the Jags.
Nah,
taking the Jags, yeah.
Fuck, you're right. I'm picking
Yeah.
Jags.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jets.
Chef's going Jets too. All right, I'll stick with the winner.
I mean,
with
this is the
Jags.
kind of game that the Jets win late in the season and fuck up their draft position. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, that could very well be the case. But
I've been so sold on what you were just saying though. Where like when we're sure of it, it's definitely not going to happen.
yeah, no, there's no way that the Jets have any chance.
Yeah,
In that case.
Cowboys, Panthers.
Chef with the Panthers pick here, dude. I love it.
I
I'm
mean,
also going Panthers.
Mhm.
wow. I'm gonna go Cowboys.
I'm also going to go Dallas.
Now that the Panthers burned me, I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Yeah. All right.
But you know, like all things considered,
Actually, no, the Cowboys just lost over. I'm gonna go Panthers.
This honestly is like a coin flip to me.
this is a tough one. Yeah.
I'm going to stick Dallas though.
Buccaneers, Chargers.
Chargers. It's a tough one, too. I'm pretty sure Chargers. Though.
Oh, that's a tough
I'm gonna go
one.
Buccaneers.
It's
I'm
This
gonna
is
go
like
Bucks.
This is actually a game of the week. Honestly.
This is a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
It's
no.
tough.
I just looked at what game of the week was. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh yeah, that's gonna be really
That was- I
fucking
was
good.
looking for it,
like,
oh,
oh, there it is.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
this
gonna be a
is-
great game.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna go Bucks.
Yeah, I went Bucks too. But I don't know. I mean, you know, again, Jim Harbaugh, the Bucks are going on the road, but I don't know. The Bucks, do they just have this kind of like fire?
It's
this
LA.
year?
LA is not a road game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chef win. Chargers here too.
Colts, Broncos.
Broncos.
Let's ride.
Give me the Colts.
I mean, they could do
Wow.
it. Was
It
know.
is a horse fight,
divisional horse
My-
battle.
Mm-hmm.
not divisional.
Well,
I'm going to
close to it though.
Same
lock
conference.
Yeah.
Whoa.
the Broncos.
Either one is
Whoa!
crazy. What the
That
fuck?
is an absurd lock.
That's
I'm
a bit
locking the
absurd.
Broncos. I trust in the Broncos to win this game over the Colts. I think the Colts are frauds. I don't think they're
You
gonna
know, I will give it to Coach. I notice his locks are usually pretty sound. Like this sounds
Mhm.
crazy, but I bet when the scores come in next week, Broncos will be up by 30 and the rest will be close games.
Dude, I'm
I
telling
don't
you.
trust the Broncos either. I also think the Colts are bad, but I just don't trust the Broncos.
That's fine.
I'm gonna pick Denver, that's for sure.
I do kind of trust Sean Payton as a coach, to be honest, compared to I don't know who the coach is at the Colts. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
also think Anthony Richardson is going to turn the ball over like 3 times.
That's a
It's
safe
probably
bet.
true. Yeah, no, that's a good bet.
Patriots, Cardinals.
Cardinal.
Bro, I almost want to pick the Pats.
I'm going to
here.
go
They
Patriots.
They could.
I'm gonna go
I-
Cardinals. I mean, I always get it wrong, right? So
That's
Yeah,
true.
I guess I'm gonna go
Definitely
Pats.
going Patriots.
Oh wait, no, hold on. Am I?
You gotta go Pats. Yeah.
Am I against Magic
cards.
here? Oh,
well, the
shit.
streak was broken, but I did immediately begin. I lost.
Right,
it
it
last
just
week,
restored
so
it to
I've,
a
I've
new
started
streak.
a new streak.
Oh shit.
Chef did go Pats as well.
I mean, but the Pats are bad though.
Oh, big time. Yeah, they're both bad.
They're
Yeah,
not
they are
terrible.
both bad. I mean, they're pretty terrible. They're 3-10.
They're pretty terrible.
Yeah,
We thought
but-
they were good for a bit. They're pretty terrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
with Drake May, they've looked better though.
That's true.
definitely.
They definitely have.
They've
which I
gone
hate.
from a 1 to a 1.2 overall.
In fact,
out of
they
10.
would have beaten the Colts if the Colts couldn't convert a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
still staying cards.
I'm going
Oh.
Pats.
All right.
Okay.
Then we have game of the week: Bills,
Woo!
Lions.
Woo boy!
I've been picking the Lions every fucking week.
Oh, if there is a
I'm
just God, give us the Super
taking
Bowl.
the Bills.
Whoa!
Bills? Oh shit!
I
Oh
think
shit!
The Lions, like they got to lose one.
The Bucks
It's
start
gonna be
here?
this one.
I think it's the Lions.
Dude. Please, this Super Bowl, right? Am I right? Like, oh my
I
God,
wouldn't mind.
That would be way cooler.
this would be
yeah.
incredible.
I mean, outside of Packers, Bills, I would take Lions, Bills.
I
Give me
mean,
the
that
Lions here,
would
though.
be a guarantee that a team that doesn't have a ring gets
Yeah.
one.
It
I mean,
was
this is
like,
my number
uh,
2 and number 3 team that I would want to see win the Super Bowl basically this
Mm.
It
year.
was like
Yeah.
the Cubs Cleveland World Series, where one
Yeah.
of them had to win.
right?
I'm gonna go Lions.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going Lions. Actually, you know what? Oh wait, Rob, you're going Lions?
Yeah, I'm going Lions.
All right. If I'm gonna make up any ground, I gotta take some chances. So I'll go Bills.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, this is a good one too, because I mean, this is
Who
probably
knows?
going to be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
38-37 or something.
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
It'd be like 50-50.
Yeah, it'll come down to the
That'd be
last
fun.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Steelers, Eagles.
Oh, if we had George Pickens, I would pick the Steelers. But since George Pickens is not going to play this game, and
Yeah.
because this is basically the Steelers' least important remaining game, I will take the Eagles.
Worth
I will
noting, our
also-
assistant coach is 7-1 at picking Eagles games this year and has also chosen Philadelphia.
Oh,
I
I will
don't-
also take the Eagles.
I think
but
the
I
Eagles
do think
are overrated. I just think
Oh,
that
yeah.
the Steelers, they don't need this one. They need every game after this. This one's just not important.
Well, my prediction, I'm going to give you an extra prediction. I predict that the Steelers are going to be effective at limiting Saquon Barkley's
Barley.
Saquon Barley's impact on the game. However, they're still going to lose.
Saffron barley is all I
Right,
want.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Steelers to get a 1v5.
Okay, yeah,
I like
fair.
that. Yeah, that's fun.
Packers Seahawks.
Packers.
Packers.
I'm gonna go Packers, but this game
Yeah,
does
alright.
worry me.
I'm going to go Packers.
You have a kind of mini rivalry with the Seahawks, I
We
feel
do.
like.
We've
Yeah,
had
I mean-
many instances
Hail
of
Mary.
the Fail
Mhm.
Mary, the onside kick in the divisional or the championship round to go to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. There's the Matt Hasselbeck back in the early 2000s where he's
Oh,
like, we'll
Matt
take the
Hasselbeck.
ball and we're gonna
Mhm.
score, and then he threw a pick six to start overtime. A lot of great stuff.
Hey, he
Some
was pretty
legs,
good.
In
I
fact,
always liked Matt Hasselbeck.
There's
Yeah.
the Brett Favre's last season, 2007, with the Packers. We played the Seahawks in the divisional round. We were down 14-0 and then scored like 40 unanswered. And it started snowing. People were like, Brett Favre was like throwing snowballs at people before we knew he was shitty. Like, it was a fun time. And that was another Seahawks playoff moment we had. So, yeah, we have a lot of like playoff or like just
Right.
crazy moments in general with them.
It's like seeing old home videos of your uncle who's in jail now.
Right. Yeah.
But really, we haven't, ever since the championship game where we messed up the final 5 minutes because we didn't know how to play football, I haven't had any hate for the Seahawks since then. They also went on to lose to the Patriots because they passed the ball on the 1 yard line.
Yep.
That was the year.
Yeah.
If they would have just lost to us, then maybe we could have blown it in some goofy fashion.
Man.
But no.
Oh, Coach, we're so
That
close.
is-
We're on the home stretch, Coach.
Russell
Bears,
Wilson back in the day, yeah.
Vikings.
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 Yeah, Vikings.
Viking sweep.
Yeah, come on.
Yep.
Darnold season. It's
Yeah.
Darnold season.
Yeah. Falcons, Raiders.
Falcons.
Yeah,
Des-
Falcons.
Raiders are
Des-
bad.
Desmond
Raiders
Ritter.
are bad. I mean, they're all bad though.
It's
Oh, the
Desmond
Raiders are
Ritter.
so bad.
I can't take the Raiders. I got to go Falcons.
Chef also went Falcons.
I
It's-
need to lock.
You do.
Randy has to pick as well. So
Yeah.
lock something.
But I
here.
gotta. You know what? Lock the Chiefs.
Oh my God.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That was,
Randy,
I loved that. That was so fast.
Yeah.
Randy takes the 49ers,
Okay.
the Commanders, the Browns,
Randy picking against me, picking against my lock.
the Bengals,
Mhm.
the Texans,
Mhm.
the Giants,
I had a feeling he was going to do it. I don't
Oh.
know why. I just thought he would.
the Jets,
Okay,
the
Randy.
Cowboys, the Chargers,
Mhm.
the Broncos, the Cardinals,
Sure.
the Lions,
Sure.
the Steelers,
Okay, yeah.
the Seahawks, the Bears,
All right, Randy.
Randy.
and the Falcons.
All right.
And
He found a
Randy.
couple of crazies, but
Okay.
he's prone to do that.
He's probably gonna have a decent week.
I
You
think
know?
so.
And
He'll probably have the
Randy-
best weekend, everybody.
Has locked the Lions.
Wow. Oh, that's so
Wow,
that's a
right?
counter lock, right? Didn't somebody lock that
No,
game?
dude, who dares
God,
lock
no.
that game? God, no.
And that will do it for this week's football. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, patrons.
Listen to the show.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
everyone.
Bye
See you
bye.
next week.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
If you haven't heard the show before, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.